bit of pressure, but that is a decent bit of time that has been stripped off the clock, and obviously no progression over towards A. And so Florida, again, you can honestly, just go fight tooth and nail. Get this one guy off of A, and that time is ticking down. As soon as Gunless falls, if you can take him down, massive benefit, because that time is a ticking. And of course, those lives.
That's fair. Control is very complex as far as how you play it.
It's been a vicious
That's
round
fair,
here.
but you could play it in so many different variants.
Teams bleeding out. 15 for the Florida Mutineers, 18 for LAG. TDM indeed. Dave. Whoa. Gunfights in this game are stressful. Vivid now pushing forward, trying to help out. Awakening on the pinch. A still being captured. And here come the lethals.
Yeah, because they don't have
we're going to see a lot of here in Vanguard. Big P, Gunless finding a few more kills are on point. A's done.
Yeah,
Forward
trophies aren't the thing this year, so
10 lives remaining now for the Mutineers.
And Gunless has really stepped it up this round, and he's got to keep it going, right? 2 players over towards that back tank. A massive gunfight down low that Dave Patty actually wins. Now for Gorillas, you're forced to just go through church, get to the back if you can. Asim baiting for his teammates. Gunless gets another kill. And the route man looking for the paycheck, but Dave Patty again.
Asim, whatever the fuck, I don't care.
If you're the guy towards Plat on defense, if you fall,
he went 0 on search.
Spot, but he is clutched up again.
Did he really?
He went 0 on search, and he just keeps losing his gunfights, man.
It's good enough for now. Gunless at a 4 spree. Streaks would help. As seen with an unfortunate team kill as Dave. He's on the back line now. Oh, wow, that was close. Good trades. Still, as the Gorillas are holding this one close, but they still have to maintain the kills. 7 lives remaining for the Mutineers now, and they are turtling up. In a super tight setup, exactly. They're turtling up. They want to slow it down. They're down on lives. They need to make sure that every single kill, if they fall, you have to get the trades. And Gorillas, you got to start pushing this pace. 25 seconds, time is ticking. If you don't win this first set of gunfights, you spawn so far away, they got to go. Oh, Slasher with in and out, finds a nice kill. Pook from behind, no lives left, 4 to 9. And this could be it. LAG looking to force the final round. Clock has been paused as well. Dave now looking to find his players now, pushing their way forward. Hook wins another one in the back line. It's who can spawn kill.
You know where he's at? He's on fucking point.
Surely this is it. Surely.
But they still need both points.
Hold it, and that should be it. 1 player left for the Mutineers. Got to find him. Got to capture the zone as well. And there we go. Final round. It is not over yet for the Gorillas. I don't think they were quite able to pull off to get defense for the final round. They won by 7 lives towards the end. I think Florida still has that advantage, but even still, I mean, I suppose it could end up being an offensive side
awkward.
map. Technically, we
just
do not
carrying a big-ass camera.
Just standing there with it pointing at someone's face. Just.
Well, they've got webcams on their face, and then
I know they have. I know the webcams, but the guy with the giant camera just standing there like, "Hi."
So.
Off the rip. It'll be rare that you see it, but it is perfect for the round 5.
Oh my God, Gorillas. They've done it. They've got themselves on the beat. No kills just yet. They're going to do the first from Hook, but again, you've got to now watch the pitch from all sorts of angles.
I don't think one
that sneaky awakening. He's having a great game so far. 30 and 19 here in the final round. Can he be the dagger? Slasher doesn't watch his back. Forward the kills go. You still have to worry about Gunless in the spawn now of the Mutineers, but for
awakening
a brief moment. That is
I don't
now
know.
Done. Over towards the A zone we go once again.
When he gets going, he's eating them.
I'm not sure if it was the most, adept opening there from the Gorillas.
I've seen a couple
losing his gunfights
again. Whatnot. I've never actually seen.
I wish I had like an active COD League to where I could like actually switch players.
Now you're just back to that sort of default.
Because look at Asim's stats. I guarantee he's negative.
2 life lead, still 50 seconds or 56 seconds left on the clock in this round. So they're back to wheeling and dealing.
He's aggressive as crap too.
Decent setup.
He's aggressive and he can't fight aggressively.
And again, just back to normal Tuscan.
Hook's got a sweet corner, but Dave's got walls, man. He reads that. Slasher, anyone we had?
Slasher,
oh, baby. Thank God for
negative.
Ooh, that was a scary one.
Yeah, thank God for your teammates.
Saying goodbye to you in a brief moment. Over towards B we go, and it's going to be Hook in charge.
34 and 20. He's pressure, but he's
awakening above
when he gets going, he just goes.
Dead silent. So he's able to get deep, and he has. He's gone all the way across. Now he's kind of checking for something. I think he's looking for a Private Ryan maybe at this point in time, but we'll see if he can find it. No, he will not. Dave's going to take him down. Great positioning from that top plat side. The B defense will still hold. 1:35 on the clock. And Florida already doing the thing where, again, on defense, you're trying to slow this pace down.
Okay, maybe they're all negative except
and Vivid with
a couple.
The wide setup, so
but
it's
it
important
seems
for him to make the reads over towards
give me,
B5.
like, put it back on the
all the pressure coming in through Church. Dave ready for the first, but that's 3 players inside. Awakening able to take down 2, and the trades are there. Big Wake showing showing up. That
would be cool. If they did like a live in-game thing where you could switch between
players, yeah. I think they used to do that.
Even Awakening on the map, he is the player that can just be a dagger in this push.
I think there was a way they, I don't.
14 to 16.
Basically, do the same power that you'd have if you were watching in CDL mode.
Yeah.
Dave, up in time.
Even if you had to watch it like in the game, tell me how fucking cool that would be.
That would be cool. That would be like
that will come into play in just a brief moment, but for the time being, Asim is reaping his way.
Asim is positive. How?
You got the setup. You got two players pushed out the back. It's really only Vivid that can stop this right now in the hill. But even though the kills are just falling, finally you get them off the point. But look at the lives, a 7-life difference. In Florida, they're around the point, but I mean, the LA Gorillas, it's a 2-2 split on both sides.
Same, 39
they have no
and 30.
control of their own spawn. Gorillas still in such a good spot.
A chaotic situation to be now in this Tuscan control. Gunners and Slasher now. The veterans, forward they go, but it's into Awakening. Trades abound. Good work either way. Dave, what can the youngster bring now? What can he find? As again, the split is still on. Asim is still alive.
The grenade radius smaller in this than it was in Cold War.
Gorillas just sitting inside their base.
But you use Semtexes
They have done the hard work potentially to start
Semtexes have a bigger blast radius than a
It's
grenade.
just a matter of getting these final few kills in Florida. They are grouped up together. It is 3. They need a 4-man wipe, but they get daggered in the side. You got Gunless taken down. 2 Awakening, last man standing. He cannot get it done.
Oh,
and Gorillas get a
give me
map
something,
on
man.
the board. As predicted, they win the Tuscan control.
Woo! Tuscan control, the reverse sweep after going up by 2. LAG get themselves on the board, and I will say, that was a sweat, man. That I don't know about you, friends, but that looked like it was hard work. Slash has aged a year, a whole year in that lobby.
I mean, at this point,
Slashers aged a year in that lobby.
Aging recently, but that is an incredible bounce back. That is what veterans can bring
Oh
to
my
the
God.
table, right? You are down 2-0. You get bullied out in the search and destroy. And again, you would have seen dropping a donut in map 2. You talk about the bounce back map, 40 bomb. He is able to collect on Tuscan. And again, really just the Gorillas making up for those first 2 rounds where things got tough. They really started to get some momentum on their side.
They certainly did. Asim, we talked about him earlier, and we said he was a player that really requires his teammates, when they need him to step up, he usually does do that. Yes. Search and Destroy, a dirty outlier in that case. But here, 40-31 from him. The time he spent, I would love to know. It was like a minute, of in-game time. He stayed alive in the backside of their spawn. He was doing an incredible job. Highlights now from that Tuscan control, and a brilliant control map to get things going now in the series for LAG.
And keep in mind, for those of you playing at home, you might have seen a brand new stat on the data view that we have, the non-traded kills. We don't know exactly how to evaluate them yet, whether you want the highest number possible or the lowest number. It's generally the highest, but the way it works, if you find a kill and you're able to heal or just live for another 5 seconds, that counts as the kill that you get, that you were not traded by the other team. I hope that made sense, and that's certainly something we will talk about more throughout this year, but really, this just comes down to that veteran sort of like clutch ability that the Gorillas have. I have to imagine their comms nice and steady from the team, putting in work through those final 2 rounds. Honestly, just making demands. It wasn't just Asim slaying out the entire time. Gunless, the first half that he had, insurmountably different than the second half. He really started to crank things up.
Well, there we go.
I don't like Berlin.
Earthquake
quite a saga.
It's going to be a lot different. There's going to be a lot of movement.
Kickoff classic.
I feel like spawn manipulation will be key here.
Memory, it feels like, mate. Again, I'm sweating after that one. I'm not sure it's the lights for that first map. 250 to 246. That was a banger. 6-3 there for the Berlin S&D. And now
we're going to see some. We're going to see some Gavutu later, probably.
Next, of course, Game 5 Desert Siege if we have to get there.
Yeah,
I think LAG
a couple teams pick Gavutu.
Renewed sense of
did it show the
because you were talking about this, they need
all the did it show the full list of games?
To find that retribution.
I think so.
Berlin, sub next.
I saw Glavu too
somewhere. Working on that reverse.
Well, that's the one they like exiled for them to play.
With
these 2 teams.
Map where again ARs reign supreme, power positions reign supreme as well, and it's actually Dave Patty is that main AR for this team, but obviously Awakening might be pulling it out at times on this map.
I like these guys. These guys are great announcers.
And maybe outside of those final few rounds of the control, the ARs for Florida have had Slasher and Gunless's number. If they can continue it, well, they get that 3-1 series win.
Dave Patty, welcome to
He looks like he's
really,
13.
Heads in your first series so far. And it was interesting to note, we go back to that LAG video, there was like, what does the Kickoff Classic mean to you as a team? And I found that was so interesting for Slasher. It was like, it's getting online, it's getting back on the big stage with this team, it's getting the chem going, you know?
What is it?
It's been a difficult
like
year
that jersey. Those jerseys are too dark.
2 years, I suppose, for LAG. And already,
they're just like black and white jerseys.
First reverse sweep of the year.
It don't.
No, they're dark green. It's just really dark.
I mean,
No. Oh, are they dark green? Because theirs is just white. Are you sure it's not black?
Straight out of the way, so you never know.
They don't have like
Again, this
anything.
veteran team with the Asim claps, one that can certainly pull it off.
Well, like Gorillas could have some.
See how Berlin actually
Oh,
plays.
excuse me. LA Gorillas could have some very, very, very clean
scores. Berlin maybe not be the
jerseys,
case.
like design. They got great design.
I mean, multiple hills in a row just put a team in.
Yeah, look at what close-ups again. They got it's like a really, really dark green. It's too dark.
That will absolutely be a difference maker.
Yes, it is.
As we load up to good old Germany. See what's going on.
Amazing place. I do wish we had a German CDL team. It'd be really cool to go there at some point. Brilliant stuff, though, as we now go into map number 4 of this opening series.
Magazine, do I have this gun?
Hard
How many
point
shots
here
I
on
have?
Berlin.
I'm trying to count shots.
It's going to be a fun one. This is a must-win now for LAG to push to game 5. If the Mutineers win this one, they advance to the tournament and they say goodbye to our purple pals. I wonder, Chance. I wonder.
I think this
single
elimination. I'm not
right
sure if the majors are
back
double.
to Berlin we go.
And I want to see a very
All right,
strong
P1 fellas,
right
let's go.
for the Gorillas because they are on, well, maybe not the slightly preferred side. You see
I don't-
how fast Florida can actually get
I'm not a big
inside
fan
the
of
point
hardpoint.
in comparison. 5 seconds before the break is even getting set up, and they're trying to take their time to get into this hill. Who can't win his gunfight? A little bit of chaos around the point, a bit of contest time coming through. You got to break everything inside the actual point before you start getting the kills.
You get your sledgehammers out, start smashing windows, doors, get the boards gone. Crowbars at the ready. You got to make sure that hard point is open and clean so before you start throwing things at other people. Still, Vivid now can't take the backside. He's going to see the hard point.
Yo,
in the hands of
that's
LAG.
something like
The
Call
kills
of Duty
keep
League
going away.
itself
They come
has
through.
like
Where
taught
he
me.
goes gunless.
Like
Oh my
throwing those
word, it's one
stuns
bullet.
tells
Still
you where
alive
people
now,
are.
say the
Whether
point come up. 10
like
seconds remaining on this one. Rotation's already down. Sky
like whether they hit or not.
towards the male.
Those
Does
stunts.
work with
And he's gotta
Pierce?
be the guy just to stagger the push.
I
right?
don't
2
know
players
if they
down
do or
low.
not.
He's waiting to pinch as soon as the hill
I
pops.
don't
And
think-
honestly,
I wouldn't
they might be able to
say
pull
so.
it off. Gunless with a nice read, but still
'Cause
inside
everybody
the
would be
point.
running
You got
tactician
players
and-
just jumping down from the top rope looking
Is
for
it
it. They get the
banned, though?
players out of the hill.
Yeah,
Now
piercing
it's about
vision's
clearing
banned.
out the dockside.
Piercing
Slasher,
vision's
he's
banned,
the
tracking
key
is
guy
banned,
really
anything
so far able to
like
stay alive.
anything like that.
Boy's still got the snapper. Finds a sweet kill, gets himself an MP40. Dad Paddy now going through the mailbags. He's going to get a very unfortunate entry there from Slasher. Asim finds himself 2 more, and it's an easy peasy break. You've still got 1 player left in the Mutineers. It's going to be Vivid, fighting tooth and nail to retain some form of control in that position. Gets off the point, stays alive.
Again, just credit to Slasher, right? The dock side for this hill is the most important thing to control, especially with an AR. You just make sure no one's sneaking in that side door, and if you got that anchor player, one of those gunfights, you are set up for the point. Slasher, though, inside the actual hill, he's getting tagged up, but these final 10 seconds, Gorillas, they're going to be able to secure it, take the lead. Not a crazy amount, but now we go over towards P3. This is the money hill, and it is the same story. Dock side means everything. Dave Paddy.
All right, come on, money hill.
They've got the binoculars out and picked up
Me
a
too.
sweet kill. Great range. And what do we have?
Just check it down middle.
Again over towards fire, and we got ourselves time already ticking. Mutineers should be able to take the lead back.
Oh, Slasher.
They've got set up.
And it's perfect setup as well, right? As soon as you make sure that there's no pressure coming in through the dockside, it is so easy to hold this hill from inside the point. You get the top
Slashers.
flyer. You've got everything covered.
I think
Vivid down
Slasher
low. As long as he stays
and
alive,
Gunless
you
are
have
ARs, I
several
think.
different corners. You can play inside a fire. It is so difficult
I know
to
who-
these P1 spawns to get inside the hill.
They-
This might be a
I think
true
Hook and
blue
Asim are your
60
SMG
that we
players.
see from Florida Mutineers as they have
The
really
Slasher.
started to take this game over.
It's been all them so
That's
far.
disgusting,
No
Thomas
real
Hahn.
shot
Oh, yeah.
of LAG able to get into this one. Slash is going to try to hold his players back. Not a
I wonder what
chance.
their builds are.
Skies cuts him to pieces. Awakening now, still finding those kills. 3 in a row now for him. As we are finding
That's
with the
MP40
left-hand side of the screen,
almost
the
looks
streaks
there.
there for the Florida Mutineers. They're on one indeed.
And by the way, a perfect hill. You start to spawn a couple of those players out towards docks,
Oh
even
my
though
God.
Dave Patty just spawns right behind Hook, but it looks like Gorillas, they get the clearance over towards New. They have secured those back spawns. No one from Florida
Slashers and
able to
AR.
be sneaky and make a play. So you go over towards a very chaotic hill that if you haven't played it yet, you will be quickly reminded there are no trophies in this game. If you're on point, you
The
are going to be
same
stunned.
as-
You are going
yeah,
to be
SMG.
naded. And oh my God, do stun grenades hurt.
They don't hurt as much as they once did, thankfully, but it's all coming your way. Asim will be the unfortunate recipient of everything that the Mutineers can possibly throw his way. And Sky is literally just like, I don't want like suicide bomb or something. He flew at him holding the cook nade and exploded there. We love to see that crazy mania. The Sky's now flying forward, finding a few more shots into this one. Asim will be dropped. Are they able to get on the point though? The break is pretty, no, it's done. It's not over. You're gonna see LAG hold this one. Should be able to take the lead back here. Final 10 seconds. Gotta look towards the middle of the map though. Final hard point in the rotation. LAG and a decent spot to contest it.
They held that point, but they didn't get set up for next point.
From either side, you basically just kill everyone inside the actual point. Another one of those hard points, hills, where not a ton of time is going to be collected. But what is important, you want to be spawning bottom left. That is the rotation P1, and that is what the Gorillas currently have. No one has stepped foot inside the actual hard point, but as far as it goes, Gorillas
that was a nasty fucking
better spot to
angle.
potentially collect a little bit of time.
Skies manages to help take him out. Dave from behind, gunless and difficult spot to hold that hard point. Again, very, very central position. Not a lot of cover to work with aside from that center. Slasher, Hook holding it down, trying to keep the lead away now. Can they get back in this one? As Awakening flying forward, should be able to get this job done easily with the MP40 at that kind of range. He does. Holding the time down, though, chance we should.
They're so far out.
Crossover
like...
the 100-point mark, but again, good job from the Gorillas to basically contest this crazy hard point.
I disagree. I think that's a misplay. I think you end up sort of giving up those P1 spawns, making that rotation just a little bit more difficult. But if you can win the gunfights, you're feeling great.
Irritating.
God, Vivid,
get
man.
shot in the back, and they do secure that rotation. So maybe a moment of opportunity for Florida to start racking up some time on a solid hill for P1. But
skim each other.
Take care of business, able to stabilize, get a couple kills, and now you got players like Hook able to push out, at least for a moment. This is again same story as map number 1. Very tight game.
Yeah, nice tight game between these two teams. A little bit of a leads now developing from the Gorillas. Awakening with a present, flying forward, not able to get the kill with it, but oh, that's unfortunate timing from Asim. He will be dropped for a 4 spree, and now the hard point for the Mutineers.
Good rotation as well. 20 seconds. If I'm the Gorillas, I might send a player to fight for this. Slasher's thinking about it while Gunless is thinking about the rotation. Vivid ready for the roto. And for this scrap time play, he's going to dive bomb in, but Awakening is ready. So every single play just about is getting stuffed on the side of the Gorillas. And even the battle inside the point.
Y'all had the lead and y'all just lost it, man. Y'all better set.
Found their man.
Hopefully y'all got set up for this next point.
Set up for P2, but again, it's a 4-point game at this point. I mean, anyone can take over.
Gunless is trying. 2 kills go his way. Great awareness from Hook. Good shots. And again, utilizing our little breakable bits of cover. And he's trying to do it again. Trying to Kool-Aid man that one, but he can't quite find the momentum. Key tactics ready, friends. Nice flying from Hook. That's going to be 4 Skies. Whoa, man, it was close. Outside now.
Okay, come on.
Place on the inside. Even worse as Vivid.
You got 36. You got 30 seconds left.
Cleans the whole point up. Hard point Mutineers.
And this is a very interesting situation. I don't know if you really want to feel good about giving away 30 seconds to end this hill. So if you're Gorillas, you have to do 2 things. Try to fight for it and don't let anyone through to flip those spawns because Florida paid P3 perfectly last go around. And already Vivid, he's thinking about the rotation. Gorillas do actually fight inside the point. And Gunless, last one up, he gets taken down. And now Vivid making the play.
Come on, fellas.
Stocks control. You will set your team up. He cannot get it. And Gorillas at least have the rotation. They're looking for a full 60, see if they can handle it.
They've done the big brain play, they've done the hard work. Now can they reap the reward? They've got the time now ticking their way. Here comes the push. Skies on the outside, takes care of one. Awakening on the inside of the point, finds another one. The pinch now developing. Oh, Skies wins another one. And Vivid, he and Awakening are on the point. And just like that chance, the spawns are flipped and the hard point is broken once again. Mutineers, great job.
Just blocking those spawns with the line of sight. Skies, maybe not main AR, but he can certainly put in work with the automaton, getting the break for the squad. And honestly, in my mind, that's the moment of the game. Unless Gorillas were able to fight back, that was the hill that they needed, and that is a hill where they got broken down. Final 22 seconds. Assuredly,
come on, y'all gotta do something.
To go towards Florida. They have developed a very strong lead in this game, and they got Vivid being the cutoff man. They got Skies being the late flanker. Yes, they're gonna fall, but well, the squad spawns come through. I was gonna say they slow down the push, but everyone just spawns up on top of the Gorillas. They should be good to go.
They should be good to go. They've got the points still. They got kills coming through. They're looking good, kid. They're gonna see if they can find some sweet time here, but still, 6 leads 152.
Playing so slow. I don't know why.
Hold on. Try to pull this
I'm
one
playing
back.
so
Try
slow
to put on
compared to
a show
normal. I
for
don't
the
know
fans.
why.
We want to see a Game 5 on Desert Siege. 50 seconds remaining chance, and the kills are not looking good for the Gorillas. Squad spawns, be blessed. Number 5. Oh, that's it. It's going to be tough now. That's the break once again. The Mutineers too strong.
Oh my God.
Just those slow plays to get around the back. And again, maybe you don't have to be aggressive to find the kills, but the sneak plays because your teammates will just spawn right on top of you. That much more beneficial. Florida Mutineers have put in work, and they're looking to get the clean sweep on the hard points. No one from Gorillas able to make a quick push. Couple players coming down the alley, couple players coming down the steps, and Sky's right now the lone man inside the hill trying to be the hero. The coverage off spawn, though. Dave is there. And Florida now just 15 seconds away to win their first series of the year.
First series of the year, they're going to knock out the Los Angeles Gorillas unless we see something special happen. P5 now lined up, middle of the map. Sky's got this one locked down. The momentum starting to swing, and it's starting to get that a little bit harder. More impossible, it seems, for LAG to pull this one out of the bag, but we will see. What can Slasher do? Cut down Awakening, stop the time for now. Here comes the pinch, but Awakening staying alive. Finally, the kill comes through. Get on the point if you can. And once again, chance the Mutineers. So adept at trading, so adept at winning their ones, and that should be it. They've got themselves 5 seconds now for the win. Gunless has got to go, and that is it. LAG, they will be taken down. 3-1.
That was close.
Here
That was close.
in the
That's a
opening
3-2.
round. And the Mutineers, my word.
Did
What
you?
a fantastic showing to start the season off.
And that is just everyone's predictions, maybe from series number 1, thrown out the window. Florida expected to be towards the bottom of the league. The expectations were low, but they over-delivered. The Bocage was phenomenal in the Berlin. They made it look easy. Even in that search and destroy,
Oh, they're clean.
Was clean.
I've
seen them, but
watched Twitter.
I can't see them.
No, they're not those ones.
The biggest concern I had going in
they're not doing those?
what is the communication?
They did the
look
one,
like
but that's for
bringing in
that's
a
not
rookie
for like
instead of
that's
a
not
vet
the
to
COD
help you out.
jerseys.
What is it going to sound like? And well, Dave Patty certainly put in work.
I'm really glad, and we stayed on his POV as well, so we could absolutely confirm it was him, because
Plus
that was
the
such
power
a concern
rankings,
for so many
Florida
people.
Mutineers 2
Slack
seconds
said it
ago.
on the desk as well. It's like, this is a team where communication can be a problem. Look at the stats, friends. Once
Oh,
again,
they said?
it was a lovely bit of work there from the Mutineers, time after time.
God,
It was 1v1 wins.
dang.
The rotations were on point. The cutoffs were there. You name it.
They like,
Patience paid off. Mutineers 3-1 here in our opening series. Berlin Hardpoint barely took 10 minutes, mate. A wild one in.
I don't know if I like this or
now
not.
let's look across the highlights chance. I mean, aside from the fact that we had Ali spot on 3-1 the Florida Mutineers victory. Any other
second one down? It's like the Stein or whatever.
Crazy stats I just saw is I think Awakening had 25 non-traded kills, only 28 total. So Awakening was just winning his gunfights, and there was no one else from the Gorillas there to take him down. But whether it's the individual stats, P3 won Florida this game. First go around, they literally had the perfect full 60 they were able to secure. And the second time around, well, they broke the setup from the Gorillas down and, well, bought themselves an extra 30 seconds. So P3 wins games. Mutineers know how it works on Berlin, and honestly got guys like Vivid at times just showing off as well.
I mean, it happens every single time. We have a new Call of Duty every single year. Players have to learn, the most effective ways to win these maps. What are the money hills? Where are the places we need to be? What are the sort of swing moments in these games? And I feel like we learned quite a bit there, man. P3 being a real good one so far. Of course, Berlin Hardpoint will look nothing like this in a month's time, in 2 months' time. By the time we get the champs, things will be so ridiculous. But there we go, friends. Our first series here comes to a close.
Well, there goes my bracket.
Fun one. Berlin S&D, of course, 6-3. 3-2 there in the Tuscan Control. A brilliant comeback from the LAG players. But Berlin Hardpoint comes to the final map. And we did get to see Desert Siege, mate. I didn't think we were going to see Desert Siege this weekend.
Seattle Surge, Royal Ravens.
Right there.
And Seattle Surge has a
it looks
completely
great over there
new
towards the end
roster as well.
Mutineers put in work, and honestly, Miles, I just want to hear what they had to say, right? If they started out, everyone was expecting to be towards the bottom of the league, and they show up with a performance like that, they got to be feeling good.
I might go in hard.
Great. Let's find out how great they do feel. We believe Guy Blaze has got Skies on stage. Guy, what's he got to say?
Man, Miles and Chance, awesome cast as always. Everybody give it up for the Mutineers one more time. We got Skies on the stage, and Skies, to kick off the Kickoff Classic, you guys came out here and you guys made quick work of the LA Gorillas. Now, it did look scary for you in map number 3. Y'all allowed that reverse sweep to come back, but how you feeling now after getting that victory?
We're feeling solid. Like, our teams has put in a lot of time into the game, like when we were back at home. I feel like we're one of the teams that put the most time into it for sure. And Control, we just threw. We gave them the back. We gotta work on our tight setups there. Like, we literally give them one wave and they break.
Yeah.
But We put in a lot of time. We're really good at search. Our hard point, we're tweaking some small things, but we're looking solid.
All right, you guys are looking solid. Now, speaking of the rest of the team, you got your duo on Awakening with you, but you got 2 new members. You got Vivid and Dave Patty, your main AR. Tell me about the new squad of the Mutineers.
Dave Patty, he actually has really good comms, and Reese, like, #1 accuracy last year, I think. And then Joe, like, me and him are probably tired of hearing everybody say that we can't work together, and it's good to, like, or try to prove them wrong this year.
All right, well, this is the year. Now, when it comes down to Mutineers, who are you guys looking forward to playing most in the league? Let me know it.
Mutineers were not like
New York. All right,
even though they're completely different.
You heard it here. The Mutineers looking for their rematch against New York. Skies, it was good talking to you, man. That's going to do it for us on the stage. Veli, take it away.
Well, what a way. What a way to start a year. The Florida Mutineers were able to come out on top 3-1. And besides that one map on Control, LAG were looking LA free. And Ali, you're the one that predicted that one. So how's it feel to be the big brain on the desk right now?
I'm feeling on top of the world, to be honest, after this cup prediction and now this. I mean, I feel like now my expectations so high. I feel like there's so much pressure going to the rest of the matches today.
It was crazy. Now, Ant, let's talk about map 1 on hard point. It was a close map. It was anyone's game. Then it all came down to the very last few seconds.
Bro, that map was lit. I mean, Bo Cage map 1, obviously we're expecting some chaos. It comes down to the wire. And, you know, the big question going into this for the Mutineers was like, can Skies be a very good SMG? They have an AR dominant team, and you know what? Skies did his thing on this map. At the very end, you see Hoop go all the way around the back here, and I thought this was going to be it, like him getting that kill, spawning them out, but you know, they get that back tank spawn, and then it's just a back and forth fight for the hill, and this is what you're seeing in Mutineers. Their SMG players are able to get inside, get those trades effectively, like they were winning their gunfights versus players like Hoop, versus players like Asim, when we thought they would be dominant on this map.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, Skies had a stupid stat line, 45 kills. I thought he was going to drop a 50 bomb, but Ali, you think he's going to keep this heat up throughout the entirety of this event?
Absolutely. I feel like he's been released from the restraints of a main AR, and now he's just able to freely roam the map and just outslay with the likes of Awakening as well, dropping 40 bombs. That is such a scary duo. I got to shout, for at least my own perspective, Vivid, for me, for that team, fills in all the little plot holes, it feels like. He was sitting in the back of Bo Cage, watching the deep push. He was pushing up in the front and watching that long hallway. He was just playing where his team needed him, and I think that's huge when it comes to this team.
And Slack, when it came to Search and Destroy, okay, it looked like there was a lot of
I don't know who that chick is.
kind of some confusion when it came to the LA Gorillas. I mean, what did you see in your eyes?
So I liked what I saw from, honestly, both teams. Both teams were being aggressive towards the opposite side, which is actually quite funny, but Florida made some really good plays at the A site, but for some reason, LAG must have had a mishap in communication or something like that, where they went A, I think it was round 8, something like that, and Kyler must have made a call, or someone on LAG, that they were wrapping to B. They got a free A plant down, and kind of momentum just went their way. Great plays out of Florida overall.
Yes, now, overall, Nameless, taking a look at this map in entirety of it. I mean, Los Angeles Gorillas starting the year with an L, 1-3 against Florida Mutineers. How do you feel about them when CDL officially kicks off?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Mutineers, like, they had to shock the world here in this series. Everybody was thinking LG was going to win, aside from Ali. Great call. And this is the round that Slack was just talking about. You know, they get in a great position, LAG. They were waiting on, you know, Florida Mutineers to plant the bomb, and instead of, like, forcing that bomb plant, you see Hook, he sees one player try to cross through mid, and he tries to chase that kill. And in doing so, he makes that call. It must have been him, because he's the first character, and then they all start to rotate, and then Mutineers catches LAG in one-on-one gunfight. So
I wonder how many people put in.
That can't happen. But if it's going to happen, I guess it has to be at the kickoff. So they'll go back, watch that VOD, and hopefully bounce back a lot stronger.
You're right. Now, Skies turned out to be a key to victory, and we talked about him before the game happened, and you were the one that called it out, Slack. And this game right here, he was so phenomenal, and he started off right when
I want to go to one of these.
I mean, honestly, shout out to every single one on Florida. I know, like you said, the key
like,
to
I really want to go to one of these.
Consistent in their new roles and communication. And like Skies said in that interview, huge shout out to Dave Patty coming in. It's his rookie debut, playing for the first time on the main stage with the
next event? I know today.
He was bringing the communication. He was making
like
great
kickoff,
plays overall, and I was just really happy to see that. Again, as well as Awakening, map 3 and map 4.
Do they do like semifinals and finals separate?
It was great to see, and hopefully they can keep it up this weekend.
I'm so happy about Dave Patty, because what a debut out of him. I know the crowd was going wild.
Each stage
is
like its own tournament.
That he have, especially getting put into that
Major
AR role
one
behind a veteran like Skies. That is a lot of pressure, and it looked like he was having fun with it. And of course, big wake. We got gotta talk about him. The slaying power out of that man.
Major 2s.
He's gonna be a menace this season.
Yeah, and hopefully Florida.
Okay, sorry, no. Major 1 is in March.
Bracket, but ladies and gentlemen,
Major 2 is in March.
But before we do,
it's 4 days.
So what, like whoever wins the bracket?
No, this is just kickoff. This is just everybody's playing everybody.
But coming up next, we're gonna
this is like I think this like
Call of Duty has ever seen.
It's like rankings. Like I think how they get seeded for the season.
Legend Royal Ravens. We'll see you guys.
Okay. Let's say I don't see how it goes so long if it's this short little bracket. Because honestly, this whole bracket could probably be done in 2 days.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Everybody plays through for these 2 days. Like this is this tournament. This is the kickoff tournament bracket. If that makes sense.
You'll probably like this pistol.
With one.
This Clouser. It has FMJs. It has Driller. So if you like your you like your wall things.
Yeah.
It's like a handheld pistol. Like it's highly accurate. I mean, you can tap all the way across shipment with it. It just fires a little bit slower than normal.
Yeah, online qualifiers February. Here, just
what?
There, I'll send it to you. So we'll be playing in Texas, Minnesota, Toronto, New York, maybe? And then the championship to be determined where we'll be playing.
How far apart are they? Are they monthly like UFC cards, or are they like?
Yeah. Well, March 3rd through 6th, March 31st through April 3rd. There's some mid-season. There's some mid-season ones. April, and May. April 9th and 10th, April 24th, and April 5th through 8th. Or May 5th through 8th, I'm sorry. June 2nd, July 21st through 24th. A lot of these are lands, though.
Oh, wouldn't they be lands?
Oh.
Is that kind of like the standard, just for land?
Not past couple of years.
I'm sure.
So there's a Warzone Pacific tournament on April 24th.
Like
with the 12 teams.
Warzone?
Yeah.
Who's playing that?
CDL teams, all 12.
Are they separate teams though, or are they like?
As far as I can tell, it'll be the CDL guys, not. It'll be these guys.
Oh yes, what a great call out. Thank you. I will definitely know where he is now.
What'd you say?
There's a guy over there. 10 out of 10. Don't know how I could miss him.
Welcome back to the Call of Duty League's Kickoff Classic right here in the beautiful Arlington, Texas, presented by City. And right here on the desk, this is none other than me, your desk host, Belly, but I'm here with Slack, Nameless, and Ali, who is just a genius when it comes to predictions. This matchup right here is going to be something special, okay? It's going to be the Seattle Surge facing off against the London Royal Ravens, but let's talk about Seattle Surge. So, in a pre-show,
this guy keeps laying down. I keep shooting his heels around corners. One tap's in the hill.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think Seattle Surge is like a team that definitely flies under the radar, right? They're one of those guys that it's like kind of on their last leg. You got Accuracy, who's been benched in the past in the last year, and you got the new players Mac and Sib. And then you got Pred, the Rookie of the Year. Everyone's got his eyes on him. I'm so excited to watch him, man. I can't wait. I hope he shows out.
So we're all on the Pred hype train right now because Pred is an absolute god. Just wait for this matchup to start. But Nameless, last year Seattle, when it came to basically all game modes, they were at the bottom of the rankings. Do you see that ticking up at all this year?
Well, it's a completely different team. That ain't happening with this roster.
Okay.
I'll tell you, man. I mean, I look at this team, I think they're going to be nasty. I mean, like, Lamar has set himself up for success here. He can literally just play his slow AR role and be a leader for this team, and he has the Maniac SMGs to go out there and do their thing. Mac has been playing a flex role for quite some time. Like, this team, they have a great team composition. When it comes to Search and Destroy, I also think they'll be nasty there. Like, they have accuracy to be that leader. It'll really just come down to a couple things. Like, with Sib, he can be a hothead, is what I'm told from some of the challengers players, so they're going to have to develop him, make sure he can stay calm and actually.
All right, while they're doing
this,
I'm
that's something that they're going to have to put a heavy focus on. And then for Pred as well, you got to let him fly, but he has to make the right decision. So it's going to be a learning process, but I think they're going to come out the gates hot.
I think with the Coach Phoenix behind him, they're going to be just
absolutely
all right.
Him too.
Yes, but with this team having fresh faces on a brand new team, let's go ahead and learn a little bit more about the Seattle Surge.
So the Kickoff Classic means a lot for us as a team. We've been working really hard the last few months, and it's going to give us an opportunity to showcase all our practice and hard work.
For us to prove to everyone, not just everyone but ourselves as well, that we're a team that can actually be a contender to be the best team in the game.
Really, we were just playing a lot of Vanguard. Just playing. Really like making sure that we're like consciously working to improve not only as individuals, but as a team as well.
Every team is pretty good, so I don't think we should take any other team more or less as a threat. I think everyone is the same.
My biggest challenge last year was getting benched.
It's very crucial to be open with each other and discuss things that if anyone has an issue or a problem or whatnot, that just helps our chemistry so much, and it improves literally everything, not just in game and out of game.
The biggest threat right now, the defending champs phase. Usually in practice we match up pretty well against them, and it's always like a grueler, like we're fighting, going super hard, and it's always a good scrim. I'm looking forward to the battles we're gonna have with FaZe this year.
I feel like I'm the new one that's come into the league. I think people are coming to realize that I'm just not some Australian kid that God bless to be here.
Shout out God, shout out my mom, shout out Surge fans, and shout out my teammates. You know what I mean? I couldn't be here without them.
We want to let you guys know that we're here to make you proud this season.
Comes to the new look Seattle Surge, I'm absolutely loving it. But Ali, on here on the desk, you've been great so far. And while you're good with predictions, I want to ask you what the keys of victory are going to be for this team.
Well, for me, I honestly want to highlight a player in Accuracy. He really needs to be a leader in this team. And Accuracy is one of those really good, consistent ARs that I feel like maybe flies under the radar sometimes. So with this squad running in front of him, I think this is really his year to shine. And Sib, he has so much to prove. And having his duo with him, Pred, coming from the APAC region, I think the squad will be dangerous.
Yes, and Nameless, let's talk about the team that the London Royal Ravens will be facing off, Seattle Surge will be facing off against. Let's talk about the London Royal Ravens, man. So kind of like we were talking about, they have a lot to prove this year as well.
They absolutely have a lot to prove. And you know who has a lot to prove? It's Zero, man. think about what happened to him. Like, he wasn't really able to play last year due to some visa issues, and he makes an immediate impact on any team that he goes to. Like, one, make this roster work. You think about Royal Ravens in the last couple of years, the amount of roster changes that they've had, it's just been ridiculous. So commit to this team, and you have a good roster around you. I mean, you look at Nasty, this guy's been playing great in Challengers. Gizmo as well. They both spent some time teaming with each other. So I'm looking at Zero to go off in this series as well, and to be a leader for these guys and stick to it.
One of the names that you actually didn't call out is going to be one guy that I'm excited to see pop off in this matchup against Pred. Slack, tell me what you know about Afro, man.
Dude, so Afro has been an absolute beast. Obviously, last year with his CDL debut, showing off what he can bring to the table. He didn't have too much success with the London Royal Ravens, but individually his performances were top tier. I am so excited to see what he can do with a comfortable roster, and I can't wait for them to start this match.
Yes, and Ali, providing a lot of young blood around accuracy, I mean, this should rejuvenate him, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, FaZe meta is having these young bloods in front of you in these sub-aggressive roles, and having a veteran AR be kind of like the voice over the team, right? The IGL in the squad. So I think accuracy, like I said, this is a good power position to put him in the start of the year.
Yes, Nameless, this matchup, one thing that I'm excited to see, Afro versus Pred. Do you think that that matchup on paper is actually going to show up on screen in a big way?
I think so, man. I mean,
Really?
we've been watching the scrims, and Afro, I mean, he's a demon on
He's
the map,
sick.
dude. Like, the guy's nasty. So him versus Pred should be epic. We haven't gotten to watch them scrim each other, so I'm excited to see how that one plays out. But they both play at a similar pace. I think Pred might be a little bit more of a maniac, but Afro having a year in the CDO, having gotten that practice as it stands right now, it's going to be dope.
Yes, and with a brand new team coming in with the Seattle Surge, Slack, do you think that they're going to come out the gate swinging, or do you think it's going to take some time until we kind of are able to measure where their potential is going to be at?
They have to. In my personal opinion, I think Seattle's a very good team. I think a lot of teams are underestimating them, in my personal opinion, and I just want to see them succeed and come out the gates hot. I want to see Sib have a great map one and carry that through the rest of the series.
All right, now I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of tired of talking right now. I want the game to actually get started. So let's go down the line of predictions, and who do you think is going to take it all here in the second match of the day?
I got Seattle winning this one, 3-1.
Okay. 3-1. All right, Ali.
I respect the one in there. I'm taking Seattle Surge 3-0 just because, I don't know, I feel like this London team, I don't know what we're going to see out of them. Maybe push them in the S&D, but I think Seattle will close it out.
All right, Nameless. Who you got your money on, man?
I think this is going to be a battle, man. I think people are underestimating.
Really?
So I'm going to go 3-2 Seattle.
I'm rocking with Seattle, man. I think Seattle's going to take it 3-1 as well. I don't know. I love Phoenix. And after watching Pred and Challengers, there's not a lot of times you see players come out of APAC, come to NA, and absolutely dominate. If you could do it here on this main stage against the top names in the game, I'm all for it, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. On the desk, we have everybody right here going towards the Seattle Surge. But the match is almost ready. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break for more CDL Kickoff Classic.
They're saying Surge is the underdog in this one.
No, they just said Surge was going to win 3-0.
The one chick did, but the other two guys, like, completely bet against him.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not right, because I got my coins in Seattle right now.
There's 4 other guys running around double barrels, and it's making me... Although I keep wallbanging them, so... I think this pistol has more penetration than bar.
What?
Because I can shoot through the tires on B.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's not, I don't one tap him, I gotta shoot him twice, but...
No. Ooh, that's hot.
I don't know how many times I've heard, I can't even see him, how does he shoot me? You're so good, you can run me with a shotgun.
Playing hardcore? Are you playing hardcore?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this shotgun hardcore?
I don't know. You're using double barrels.
gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Oh, how'd they get on A?
Welcome back to the CDL Kickoff
And no,
Classic.
stuff don't
And
show you,
taking a look at the Zenny glasses right there. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, stuff looks good. You guys saw it on me earlier. If you want to look that good, you might want to go over there and get some for yourself. But we've been having a blast here so far.
Yeah.
And we already had one team go home, the Los Angeles Guerrillas. This has been an insane event so far.
That's crazy.
But, Ali, talking about this matchup right now, you said there was a guy coming in from EU Challengers that you're looking to really pop off in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually we haven't talked about him too much yet. That's going to be Nasty. He came up from EU Challengers, and it was always a running joke whenever he played was Nasty is, no pun intended, nasty. So he's easily probably the most important player to me when it comes to this London Royal Ravens squad. And with Zero behind him, man, I think if they're going to push Seattle Surge anywhere, it's going to be
I can't wait, and I hope it actually happens. But let's go ahead and send this back on over to the main stage where Blaze is going to introduce the teams. Let's get it.
Let's get it, Belly. Arlington, make some noise once again. Yes. Wow, that first series of the day was a banger. The Mutineers got it done, but it's time to move into our second series.
I cannot wait
and
to
with
see
that
Boston
being
and
said,
fucking New
make
York,
some
though.
noise for the Seattle Surge!
Me too. I still say,
You think Boston's going to beat them?
Cred,
I do.
Mac, accuracy, and Sid. Give it up one more time for the Surge.
Ali, you hear the crowd right now. Everybody's loving him, and Mac is going to be an absolute beast this game, I'm feeling like.
I know, I completely agree with you, and man, that was all business on that stage with that squad, Belly.
What?
Hey, Blaze, go ahead and bring out the boys out there from London.
KD.
All right, Ben, I say one thing, Surge is ready to play, but wait till you see the next squad, because when I tell you this, the London Royal Ravens, they ready to go? They are ready to go. With that being said, give it up for the London Royal Ravens!
We're back.
You got Afro, Zero, Gizmo, and Nasty. Give it up for the Ravens.
Nasty is filling it in Zero to Vet, and I'm excited for this matchup.
Man, this is going to be lit. I'm so excited to see Zero back on that stage, and also for these EU Challengers players to show, hey, we get down in EU Challengers.
Oh, yeah. Blaze, both teams are ready, man. I'm ready for this thing to get started. What's going on?
Man, we're going to see if Seattle got the speed to get past these Ravens or if the Vet's going to get it done. Veli, Des, break this one down for us.
All right, back here on the CDL analyst desk. I mean, Slack, both teams are finally ready. I'm ready for this game to get started. But, man, the crowd is loving these teams, especially the London Royal Ravens.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to watch these guys debut for the first time this weekend. And obviously with the single elimination being in play, I don't know. I'm hoping that Seattle comes out hot and we can show what Prek can do.
Right, Ali, are you ready for match number 2? You think your prediction's going to be right?
I don't know. Honestly, I hope London Royal Ravens prove me wrong. I hope they prove me wrong, Belly.
All right, Lando and Steady, you guys got a good one on your hands. My boys, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much, Belly. That is exactly what I was thinking. Yes, it is Lando and Study at your service.
They're not bad either. I like them as
commentary for this second game. Seattle Surge versus the London Royal Ravens. Jay, it's been some time, my friend.
I know. It has been some time.
It's been too long.
Too long. During the offseason, I'm telling you, I'm so bored. But when Call of Duty comes back, I'm at like a whole new level of a person. And I'm so excited for this match right now.
This is going to be great. We're talking about faces. Also, crowd, it's great to see you as well. Arlington, you look great. You look awesome. This is going to be great. I'm excited for this one. Like we said,
I'm back.
This
What are they doing first?
That everybody was looking forward to here on day
But,
number 1. Seattle Surge versus
I'll see
London
it.
Royal Ravens. The desk. They broke it down perfectly, man. We got a story of young players. We have all 3 regions of challengers having their debut in this match, and you got some old heads leading the charge for the young guns.
Yeah, man.
Here it
This
is.
is going to be an intense battle.
He just said old
What
heads
we watched
and a
from
non-
these squads for the last couple of weeks that we've been sitting in
mean,
streams.
Bokage,
We're probably
Berlin,
getting close
Tuscan,
by now
Berlin,
because we've been sitting there
Bokage.
watching streams. I'm in every single
Again?
stream. But between these two teams, I feel like these guys are going to be evenly matched up. And then going on a map like
No
Gold
Desert
Cage,
Siege, no?
I'm telling you right
You
now,
realize they
to
mo-
me, Seattle
they
Surge
vote
are
on
the
that.
best map. I mean,
Yeah,
best
no.
team at that
Okay.
map. Because for some reason, they are able to just slow the game down and get full 60s on hard points that
Why
you
they banned
would not
Desert Siege?
expect.
Yes, it's really funny. We talk about scrimmages, how you obviously
Yeah.
been in the lobby a multitude of times. Like the entire talent team is like huddling around the screen.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
No,
of
when
how
they went
great
for,
Seattle Surge have looked, but specifically
Berlin.
But they might have not went for
Everybody's
Berlin,
been
though.
talking about it. Everybody has been discussing, hey, you know, this Seattle Surge team looks to have some life, some grit to them after their 2 seasons that have been somewhat lackluster. Now is their chance. Both of these franchises, organizations, and players are looking to have a solid debut here in Vanguard. But of course, folks, we're going to some Bocage. Some Bocage, 2 teams into the cage, and only 1 team will leave successfully. It was a crazy first one. And now, here we go again. Esports Stadium in Arlington, here we go. Seattle Surge, London Royal Ravens.
And there's no better player to start off with than Pred. We've been watching this guy for the last couple of weeks. He's a consistent 30
supposed to be a pretty
looking
good
at the battle
player.
between him and Afro on such a sub-heavy map, this is going to be an absolute gauntlet between both of these teams.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one.
Accuracy,
without a doubt.
he's not a bad player
Off
either.
the rip, London Royal Ravens doing
I
a
remember
great job at getting some early kills throughout the middle side of the map.
He wasn't on Surge last year, but
of course going to be
he played.
your left side of the screen when it comes down to spawns. You've
Damn.
prepared for
Sib with the,
P2.
did you see that
Off the
slide?
rip, 20 seconds in, and both teams getting a decent amount of time. And Sib, just
Sib
right
played
now
for
in
last
the
year.
bottom house trying to kill a
I'm
few
not
players
sure.
off spawn.
And this is what we're talking about, how Seattle are able to just slow this game down.
No, I'm
you
thinking
see number
of,
1 on the minimap, it's just Sib. He's always
Faze.
pushed out
That's
a
not
flat,
the same kid.
which is
He just
forcing
looks
those
similar.
players
No, you're thinking of
consistently
Celium.
spawn behind tower. You have that one player who was sitting on hill on that gate spot, which is basically impossible to try to take him out. And Seattle just wiping the floor on this P1 hard point, 27 seconds there, and they have the rotation for B2.
Yeah, and a great start for
No,
Lamar.
you're thinking of
AKA
a
accuracy
BC,
sits
I
at
think.
5 and 1.
Maybe not.
Mac also finding a few off the rotation, cutting down
I don't know the
players
name. I don't know
who are
if they-
trying to come through
I know
from that
their
water
looks, I
side.
don't know their,
Excellent
like,
beginning
names,
for
face.
Surge, and we talked about P1, and now they've got early time at P2 as well. A hard point where you can easily lock down some time. I say easily in comparison to their other maps, rather the other
If you're gonna say
hills
sorry
that
every
have
time you
on
kill
a
someone on
map
this map,
like
you're gonna be
Bocage.
typing a lot.
Nasty, the crew from the Ravens is trying to break out of the spawn right now.
Every single kill so far has been on the side of the Surge. I'm telling you, they are just so good at this map. 35 seconds uncontested. Now if you're 20 seconds left, if you're London, you had to start thinking about the rotation. But Seattle, they were able to flip the spawns. They're still contesting this time. Eventually, London are able to get in. Great shots coming out of Gizmo. But with 15 seconds left, you're not mad about it if you're the Surge.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely not too angry
They're
about
setting
it.
up for P2
you
now.
can give the last
Set
15
up for
seconds
P2.
away to the Ravens, but hey, now you've got some extra time prepared for this next rotation as Afro cutting down accuracy off the rip. Some nice kills from the backside as Nasty sitting on top of the tank, trying to secure spawns for next, but both teams still looking to try and secure those officially. Surge toward the back, but again, the power position right now for Nasty. And Jay, what we call this Lamar tank for a reason.
And he's doing it with an MP40 too, even though he's going to get taken down there by Sim. So this is going to open it up for the Surge to allow them to get into this point. But now the spawns have flipped, and this is where Sim can potentially put some spawn kills in, but he's going to get taken down by 0. And now the pressure is going to be here. Pred has to try to go big. He finds 2 in the hill, tries to get the third, but Gizmo's able to get the trade. But still a lot of time just not going in favor of London, even though they have the spawns.
Yeah, that's a great call, my friend. They have the spawns. And we've talked about this a number of different times on this hill in particular.
10
it can be
to
difficult
75.
despite having spawns to actually get inside of the house.
What?
So many teams are great at
TDM on shipment, 10 to 75. They blocked us.
Now finding himself
Oh,
on 4 in a row, able to break out for a moment in those final few seconds. Granted, not many, but they're important on Bocage. Very rarely are we seeing that 250 mark lately inside of scrims as Treyboy Cardi is able to find 1.
You see Afro, he was able to sneak his way back through stables. They find 2 in the feed. So now that has the potential to flip these spawns. Last player in the hill is going to be Accuracy. Try to play his life, but he's eventually going to fall. So now the spawns flip. London are right back into this game, only being down 20 points. They just need to have a good hold here to at least tie it up. Because Seattle, we know the amount of pressure that they can put on when it goes to that second rotation of hard points.
And Jay, we've seen it so many times. Seattle Surge inside a barn. They just know how to hold this one. As Sib, a nice shot despite that player holding onto that head glitch, rips him right off of it. As now it's going to be an open field for a moment. Ravens, they get 4 down, and now it's their chance to pile on the points. A full 20 would get them right back in this game and maybe even grab the advantage as well. The one player from the back, it's Accuracy taking down 1 and takes down 2 in the process. A great job for Surge to break on in.
And one conversation that I wanted to spark here was that Accuracy and 0 to me
Even
are
last,
both
I
on the
understand,
comeback
like,
years.
changed
These
teams,
players
but
are
they-
phenomenal
I
players.
don't
They've
know
been in
why.
Call of Duty for a
They
really
always
long
do,
time.
like,
But Accuracy,
decent.
remember, he had his unbelievable 1v3 versus Optic last year, and then he ended up getting benched.
They
And
have a
now
nice
he
aesthetic,
didn't
too.
even play challenges. He was just focused on the next year,
I like
and
the
so
blue.
it's 0. He was a potential player for the London Royal Ravens, and he just had visa issues, couldn't get across, so he couldn't play. But both of these guys are on proven deals. I'm excited to see what these guys can continue to do throughout this series.
Yeah, that's a great call, my friend.
different. Like we said, we're a heavy emphasis on the young guns for obvious reasons, right? We've got a number of different debuts coming in from Civ, Fred, Nasty, and Gizmo, but a big focus is going to be on these vets, how they have trained all of these younger players coming into this season. And as we said, they're kind of in a role where it's not just about trying to play for spawns, trying to do the dirty work. It's also a lot of out-of-game stuff as well. And we'll see who maybe is a little bit more prepared coming into this one as Bocage nearing the end of the first set of rotations and a decently high score given how this map likes to play out the final 10 seconds as the hill lays vacant. But it is the Surge with a decent lead.
So now they're going into the second rotation of hard points, and right now Seattle, they do have the lead. So let's take a listen in to see what their comms are sounding like.
Hey, Platt, go to the right, top house. Oh, water. Trey's right of me, last guy. Push him down there. I have left. I'm holding my tools. Back house. Back house. Tree, one street. Two street. I'm bottom house. Bottom house dead. One more street. Yep. Yes. One more street. Top dead house. Green and camo. Last guy, tool area, tool. I'm holding the right. Milk that time. I'll go the right. Still tools. Looking right. I got one right. After right of me. I'm holding right. After right. Dead. Nice. Three. Last guy, right? Yes. Hey, you want to
These aren't even real words.
K right. Yeah, I'm trying to get right.
These are noises that they understand.
I've left. I'm tractor. I have your HUD, AG. Pick up lane. I had to give up time. Go on right. You want to hold the trip. Time. Oh, dead. Nice. I got zero last guy. Oh, right, A-plant, Trey. I'm gonna die, fuck.
Even they get hung on quarters constantly.
Keep playing kills, guys. We'll get time. Where's
This game is not smooth.
And one hot. Put him on. Heard you. Whole afro one shot. Hitting the back. Yeah, take your time, guys. He's tractoring the corner, AG. Tractor one shot. I'm named time. Nice. We have to get kills here. Bottom barn. He went back barn. Nasty. Back barn. He's on the half wall. Back left half wall area. Back left half wall area. Good. I'm hitting for now. Alright, I'm in the back. I'm nading over. I don't see him on the tank. I'm fighting down now. Nice, good kill. Time dead. There they go.
That was nasty. Yeah, that was a nasty turn.
The guy's one shot on time. Trips on you. Stop. Jump it down you. Rotate. One shot on time, Afro. 1C2 as well. Rotate. Bottom house. You stop. Tools weak. I'm going Tools the front door. About the back. Shot, single. Right at the back. Come on the back. Stay alive. I'm coming at you. One is good. Mind you. Half up gate. One alone. Side house. Let's go. Straight. Weak AG. Dead. Nice. Let's win in camo, bro. Camo. I'm challenging it, bro.
Every tools. I have left.
Oh, he's back right tower tank. I have my tools. He flank mid tools. Tools.
Back window and tools.
So they're doing a Warzone CDL.
I really
so they're gonna
love
have
the
a hackers
comms
league.
coming out of the Surge right there. It sounded like, we were all thinking Lamar had to just
league
in the comms, but Pred was really stepping up. Mac was stepping up to make sure that they were setting up properly on these rotations. And while that was going on, Raven were able to break into that P2 from the front side and get a good chunk of time to almost tie this game up and potentially take this lead on this P3.
They're gonna remember multiple games.
You talked about it constantly.
I think it's just one game.
Great job, at least in off-season scrims.
Of Rebirth Island,
specifically
I don't
because
know
of being able to slow down the game. I feel like often through those comms you hear players say, let's slow down, let's play kills. Everybody take your time. Not what you kind of expect lingo-wise at a map like Volcano.
It's
not like
easier
a map
to come
like
back under that.
It's supposed to be nothing but constant fallouts. So the fact that they were taking their time on certain situations is starting to cost them, man.
You might have like
unlimited
gulags
this is a young rookie
oh shit, London's out.
I didn't even not having the game, but as I say that, he finds 3 in the feed, and that's going to be 149 to 163. A timeout has been requested. I don't think so, but Surge are only down by 10 now.
Yeah, and big plays going down right now. Player number 8, that was 0. He's been back here for so long, trying to lock things down for the Ravens again at a hill that Surge, at least in some scrimmages as of late, have been able to hold quite well. Nice shots there coming in from accuracy, taking down players toward that black gate side. But now an opportunity for Surge as the pendulum rather, continues to switch back and forth. A few trades to the middle side of the map, and now it could be on to Afro to try to make the play. It gets cut down once more from accuracy. The main AR looking through the middle, allowing for the young guns to slay, working out quite well. Final 15, and the Ravens may have to chalk this and prepare for the next one.
They definitely have to chalk it, man. You do not want to push this and potentially flip those spawns going into that P5 hardpoint. But you see number 3 in the back. Max able to win at least one gunfight for now. On a force, we're trying to play his life. Afro is able to take him down, but they find 3 in the feed. So
he had that name way before it was even
winning the gunfights off the rotation, only being down by 15 points now. Could definitely get back into this game. As you see the spawns for the Surge all the way at stables, they should be uncontested for about another 5 to 10 seconds.
Pop culture term.
good start
He had it
for
before it
both
was
of
a
these
popular
teams.
term.
We continue to talk about it. The lead switching back and forth. One team does one thing, and the other roster ends up replying back in pretty much the same, if not equal style. Mac continuing to make the plays from the back, as that's going to be a few for him. 3 go down for London, and just like that, the spawns that were held from the Ravens now switch back toward the Surge. A favorable spot for them is, again, a massive hill every single second, meaning that much more on a map in which you're not often going to see that 250 score mark. 195, 192. Now it's London's turn.
And this is great plays by London, because you just got to think about the first 2 rotations, the way that the Surge were able to hold down P1, getting a majority of that time when you usually don't see things like that. But Surge only being down by 2 points, they should be able to take this lead, and they do not have the spawns currently, so this is beautiful for London. They need to win these gunfights in towards Barn. Trades going back and forth. Sips finds 2, Mac finds a 3rd, and just like that, the spawns are going to flip. Surge.
They gave the spawns back. Yeah, Mac just got their spawns back.
Spots right now, a 6-team streak going through from Seattle. What can London do?
Afro just called in a streak.
A streak being called on in. We'll see what damage this can be. It's not going to be much, as everybody remained inside of the house, being prepared for what could come next. But 217, 200. London not going down, but Mac finding himself on 5. He actually took down Gizmo in the same streak. He and Pred continue to slay out from the middle side of the map. Some great work being done as streaks once more could be in their future. 18 seconds left.
You cannot give this up if you're London, because you know you have that strafe and run to work with. If you're Mac, potential glide bomb if he can pick up another kill. Still time going in favor of the Surge. 225 to 203. Potential to close it out here on P2.
Mac got a glide bomb.
Fully streaked out. They find all
Mac streaked out.
They just have to pay attention to where Zero's going to be. Mac's going to lose that gunfight, so Zero has to try to play his life. His teammate's going to spawn right next to him. Accuracy, trying to do everything he can through the middle of the map, but 240 and counting. Surge can be able to close it out here.
We'll see what they can do, as it's a big double coming in from Pred. Meanwhile, the glide bomb is there to at least damage up Afro a little bit. Having fortified on can be difficult, but only a few more seconds. Somebody from the Ravens has to try to get here, and they will not. Seattle Surge answering in the hard point, much like we thought they could. Labeled as a fast team, labeled as a roster who would succeed on Bocage. And they did exactly that. Ravens gave it their all, but it was not enough, at least this go around, Jay.
It was just a great work overall from the Surge on P1. Like, the first go around, they got about 30 seconds. The second go around, they got about 40. And the fact that their setup was so beautiful, you have Lamar, which is accuracy, all the way pushed out towards the tank left side, and you're spawning all these players to spawn back tower.
Put the nail in the coffin on that one.
And hit through bottom grandmas. It's
where he
not
streaked up and
out.
cleared
And
the spawn.
The Surge really took off.
He got them that barge spawn.
Accuracy 30 and 29, winning a lot of his rotation gunfights. But Mac, being the guy to lead the pack, 34 and 26, goes on that late spree to pick up those kill streaks and eventually close out the game.
Yeah, and a great game as well from Afro, but that's the big thing we have to talk about as we'll go and take a look at a few of the highlights throughout this first map here on Bocage. Really was Mac, man. I mean, I feel like this is the one guy who maybe isn't being talked about as much on the Surge, of course, because you have, rookie players like Sip, who's been so highlighted in the North American Challengers. Obviously, with the hype in the offseason with Pred, accuracy, the whole conversation's been about how he was dropped last year. He's leading this team. Mac, once more, I feel like we've heard a decent amount of pros discuss how he could be back to Modern Warfare form. And if you're a Surge fan, that is a great sign to see Mac melting the way he did.
It definitely is, man, because you got to think about last year. Mac was the second AR for NYSL. This year, he's comfortable being that submachine gun player, that third guy that pull out the AR, and it definitely showed in that first man. He's playing his life beautifully, picks up the kill streaks at the perfect time.
I want to see some Gazu too, and I want to see some
great job from Mac, and great job from the entire Seattle Surge crew, and at least for London Ravens, it is one map, and now you have the chance to focus on some search and destroy. I know the desk was kind of already discussing it a little bit, Jay, how, given how the offseason has looked, given how really high-ranking Surge have been in power rankings, a lot of that is based off of Hardpoint. We kind of expect the Surge to answer out of the gates hot, but now it's the opportunity for London to slow down the game a little bit and now focus on search and destroy. A mode for them where it feels like in franchising, when they're good at it, you see them placing well, like back in MW. Last year, very bottom of the rank, and we obviously see how London's season went.
And it's going to be a little different this year, though, because their new roster, believe it or not, even though they're new, they have been playing with each other for a long time. Like, regardless, at least 2 of these guys have been on the same roster playing with each other. So it's going to be natural chemistry. It's all about if they can just shake off that first loss for that first map, because the search and destroy is huge for how the series is going to be turned out.
Yeah, I mean, Nasty and Gizmo, like, won EU Challengers last year, obviously for the European side, and I think we actually had a conversation about it. at some point, At some point, Zero had played with all 3 of these players last year.
Yeah.
So I didn't know Trey Card. He knows what he's doing, man.
He does.
He knows how to bring up the European talent. But like I said, excited to see these guys in the Search and Destroy. But as you said, communication,
so how you think Search is going to go?
Means a lot. And in the early stages of the game, sometimes that's what it's come down to, is all about that chemistry.
And what I'm so excited for on a map like Berlin is that I want to see a sniper.
I do too.
I want to see one of these guys pull it out and watch that cross, because you know how impactful that smoke grenade can be. The call's probably to give that call out to how many players are going towards A. But a majority of the fights should go down at that B side.
Yeah, I got to say, though, I feel like I'm not surprised to hear you talk about the sniper.
Did you not hear me talking about Mac?
It's my thing, man.
It is.
No, I had to go for Trumpin.
The best sniper of all time. I'll go and say it right now. But no, I definitely want to see a sniper, man. Obviously,
Mac put the nail in the coffin for that game. You can't convince me otherwise.
But I do hope that we
he got that.
At least at some
he got that
today,
P3.
He
got that barn point, hard point,
we'll see what ends up
and he
going
cleared
down.
out that spawn.
Surge,
he cleared out that back spawn to where it gives Surge that good spawn.
Berlin.
And
Jay, talk to
that was the end of it.
About Berlin specifically. I know you talked about it a little bit, but just in general, give us a little bit of a tease for what we can expect.
Yeah, so usually in Search and Destroy, if you're on the offensive side, you want to attack that bomb towards B, because you can call out the cross if you stand on top of the rooftop to how many players are crossing towards A. If you have the man advantage, you always take the advantage and risk it going towards that B bomb. If you get that B bomb down and a man advantage, it's basically impossible to lose it. So if you can start early into this game, at least set the tone with the aggression of how fast you want to play your offensive rounds. That'll make
these commentators keep talking about they want to see a sniper. I want to see a sniper.
Across, because in Search and Destroy, it can get away from you quick.
You know?
If you let these early rounds go.
I'm so glad I have you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, Zero's got the sniper out.
There it is. The debut.
Please start using ketamine darts instead of bullets for wild animals that roam in
but that's all right.
areas.
Love to see it be brought out a little bit more. But Mac, how great of a position this is. Does reveal his position for the time. Hops inside of P2 and does get dropped from the top side of library. Fred is there for the trade, and there you see it. Doors taken down. Zero's in the back with a sniper. A great setup here for the Ravens with bomb down.
Come on, Zero, what you got?
Surge as accuracy drops.
He was trying to put himself in a position to at least play the clutch, but Fred is able to sneak through the back, force it to be a 2v2. They know that at least one player is still going to be on the site. A great shot coming in from Zero with that pistol.
Oh, they're
now make it a
nasty
1v1. Sib knows the positioning of him. He has a lot of time to work with. He's going to spot him, try to hit the shots, and he's going to win the round for the Surge, even though they ended up getting first blooded there. Great work out of the Surge to win
that was like a laser though, Jesus.
Can we talk about how crazy that pistol shot was?
Insane. That is really good.
That is a trigger finger, to put it lightly. But hey, that's a great clutch to have, right? If you're Sib, again, I know he didn't have the greatest performance in that first map. A lot of his teammates going off, but it is a nice clutch, at least to start things off. It got a little bit scary, but overall,
let's go, Surge.
That's a great retake from Surge, given the position that they had, given that the bomb was down. But what numbers were even? You have Zero in the back with a sniper. Great calls, but an even better retake for Surge, as it is the boys making their debut for this Seattle franchise, grabbing each.
That's what he did. He got up on the thing and was looking around at first.
Things off on the attack, and it appears to be an A hit at least to start things off.
And they're not even calling out the cross. They're just going to be super aggressive towards this bomb. You have one player, which is accuracy, going to be the island player. It's going to be playing in the back of his spawn. Afro's going to open up with the first blood.
Ooh.
So now it's going to slow down the push for the Surge.
Yeah, I mean, it's too close to the door.
See that one player who's in a great position, which is going to be Gizmo, sitting in a corner in that A site.
The one who's aiming at bomb.
Looks like the attack is going to be here. They just have to win a majority of these trades, because 2 players from London are all the way across the map. Afro at least finds one. He finds 2. That's 3 on the round for Afro. Give him the ace.
Once more, it's accuracy. The vet toward the back, able to take down Afro off of the spree. Now in to the 1 versus 2. He's known as the Iceman. Can it be this early? It potentially could.
Iceman with each other.
Inside of gold, accuracy may find the timing. Both players did go toward the back alley, and he is going to go ahead and decide to lay this one down. Ravens re-challenge, and they're able to take him, and we'll have a 1-1.
Just a great round out of Afro. He opens up with the first blood. He doesn't take himself out of the engagement, and he comes back and finds another 2 to find 3 on the round. And in the 1v2 situation, you run around together, you're going to know that the guy picks up that bomb. They play it beautifully, able to tie it up. And if I'm the London Royal Ravens this round, what I saw from him in the first round was Zero. He watches that cross, and he did not spot anyone crossing. Yep. So instead of just committing towards that B bomb, make the adjustment. Wrap it back towards A. It's a free play.
Oh, shit.
Look at you.
Minnesota Rockers talking shit about LA team. Or LA Gorillas.
Exactly that, and they have got a free site and then some.
Rockers are?
Minnesota Rockers are talking about.
Distance.
Shit about the Gorillas.
And that bomb
This is what they just posted on Twitter.
Similar to what we saw last
Look.
round, but a much more open setup. They're going to have to be careful. But Sib finds one inside a small, totally tearing up the setup, but it's Gizmo on the opposite end, shutting down accuracy. A current 3 versus 3 and 30 seconds left as there goes Zero.
And that's a big kill that they find on Zero in the back of the spawn. So now they know that they have plat control. We can potentially work this defuse. But you see that number player in Afro. He's able to try to sneak his way up the back. He's going to be under the fuse. Can he get this? Oh! Yes, he does. Great plays out of Sib. The way he just worked that round was beautiful. He works his way through bottom statue, finds himself going through that bottom middle door, works his way up the steps, finds that first kill, and plays his life the entire time as his team is trying to spot out where these other players are located on the map. No hesitation right there to hop the bomb. Great round of the Surge.
Yeah, no hesi from Sib. Love to see plays like that already off the rip. That is a confidence type of play. And the Surge, once more, their retakes have been excellent. The reason why they find themselves up right now in this search destroy. But they'll head back now toward attack. Some early shots coming in from middle as Zero has to play his life. Meanwhile, Pred given the information. Nasty with the first blood. A few shots coming in toward the dark side, but it's Nasty to win that. Ravens with man advantage. Nasty wrapping back. And again, we talk about that bomb is going to be down. But you still have plenty of time to work with.
3v2. You do not want to allow this bomb to go down. And even if it does, do not separate and give one-on-one gunfights. 50 seconds remaining on the clock. It's looking like the push is going to come in towards that B bomb. Or accuracy is at least trying to spot out Nasty. Some shots is going to give up his positioning. That's going to allow his teammates to now set up off the rotation. And now if you're Seattle, you have to try to find a pick here and at least even up the numbers.
Sib once more all over that objective. Going to go and lay it down. Does not have really a whole lot of coverage right now. He's got to go big all by himself, and Afro's there to shut him down. Does he hop right on the defuse? It may be the call, and it will be. Accuracy, how quickly can he arrive? How quickly can he spot the bomb? Trying to fire away, but Nasty looking over his squad mate, secures the defuse, and once more the action going down toward the dock side.
He would have killed him if he had a bar.
Great plays, and great teamwork continuing from both sides.
Nasty going huge right there.
He could have stood inside that building and still killed him.
Who saw 2 players cross towards that A bomb, and the fact that Nasty not only won
just
one gunfight, but both towards that lower dock side.
It's hard telling what attachment
kept the man advantage in their favor, and just eventually find that final kill to close out that round to tie this game up.
All these guns look bare. They don't have
3 spree potentially working towards some kill streaks.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. I know.
Everybody uses the hand stop, the M3 hand stop, so you don't really see it.
Ravens in a situation where they find themselves down 1-0.
He wants that shot.
It could be their opportunity, but how about Mac off the rip? Taking down both Gizmo
Did you
and
expect
Afro.
anything
Half
different?
of the Ravens have been wiped away in just a matter of moments, and with that,
attachment band that I
slow
don't
down
understand.
a little bit.
Because that car
See if
looks
they can find a pick.
crap,
There's
but-
their opportunity. All the way top 3 as Nasty jumps on down. Again, working on a spree of his own, but inside a library, Zero. Not even close. But there's the pick.
Nasty finds 1. He does get traded, though. So that's going to be 3 on the round for Mac. All left up to 0, and then 1v3 with the snipe. Come on, buddy. Give me a good shot. Unfortunately, he's going to run into Mac, and that's going to be the ace for the Mac attack. Just making it look easy, man. Not missing a beat ever since that first map. Drops 34, and right there it is to close out that round for his team.
Yeah, great plays. Coming through from Mackenzie, as I thought for a moment. There was a second in my heart, Jay, where I thought maybe there's a chance for a 1 versus 3. You know, he's got the rat in your back pocket. It almost feels like a primary at this point, but
they're using rats. They use rats.
Too close for comfort.
Are the rats good?
Regardless, Surge
the rats
able to
nutty,
claim it.
Man. Like,
really?
See if they can continue to lock things down. Really, can anybody get a solid advantage in this Search and Destroy is what we're waiting for. It's been so back and forth. Obviously, in the hard point and in Search and Destroy, it's been exactly the same. Because now we'll see that smoke laid down.
Nasty hit the grenade.
Debate. Really, that's the question that the Ravens are asking. But based off of that nade, they've got to think that some coverage is going to be here. Mac once more.
And he is tearing.
That's going to be 5 in a row for him. Sib
with the snipe.
0. And now into the 2 versus 2.
And now 2v2. You see the positioning of Gizmo. He's all the way pushed out towards trains. Might get some good timing on accuracy. But Sib trying to work with the sniper towards his B bomb. Bomb is going to be down.
I've been trying to hit quick
Nasty likes to play towards lower docks.
Flips.
Gizmo, he's actually able to spot accuracy, going to wait for the shots and able to take
quick
him down. So now the 1v2 is going to be Sib. Almost hits the shots, try to clutch it up and make it a 1v1, but just a great hold from Nasty. Once again, holding
you
down that
aced
docks
with quick
like it's
scopes.
his.
You go from nobody.
That's for sure, man. Absolutely locking it
God.
down. again, we see the sniper being brought out from both sides. There, Sip. Maybe had a chance, maybe had an opportunity, but once more, the pendulum continues to go back and forth. Seattle not able to secure that one. And London are able to take Mac off of that spree, which was really one of the biggest stories coming into that round, was maybe streaks could be in his future, but gets cut down after 5 in a row. And now we see the Ravens back on attack. We've seen them hit A at least once so far, and it really came down to the sneak defuse from Sib. He's had his hands all over this search and destroy, but Mac once again leading the charge, and he takes down 2, but it will be a 2-for-1 in favor of the surge to start. And again, considering if you're the Ravens, being on this attacking side, having the door shut right in your face is not what you want to see. But making their play toward the back alley, accuracy knows it.
And you see the positioning of Sid. He's already worked his way all the way through the backside, so they basically
he knows it.
Trapped. They must know that they're going to be inside the bomb or back alley. Just no one be over aggressive. Should be easy shots coming in from Sib. Finds the first, finds the second.
Damn.
Sib works his way through the middle of the map. Just great work early on from Mac, finding that first blood, but eventually Sib closing it out with the 2-piece. Surge take the round.
Yeah, and that just comes down to good comms, which again is question coming into this map. You know, are they going to be prepared? Are they going to be ready for situations like this? And you labeled it well, my friend. They put him in a box. They made him stay inside of that train station. It was really just a matter of time. Like you mentioned, Mac finds the first 2, and then from there, Sib making the play, making the early call, prepared to take down the Ravens from the back. And Sib, as we mentioned,
you realize those guys are sitting with their nose to their screens, right?
And he also leads his team right now in terms of kills, 7 and 3. He'll be playing toward the dock side, which, given the Ravens set up more playing for picks through middle, not necessarily going to be the answer. As Nasty, the farthest pushed up player, he's going to have his hands full. This is going to be a free plant.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Number 2, which is going to be accuracy, has to focus on this player, which is going to be Gizmo, going for that late flank. You still have bomb site control. One player
behind you, Mac.
From low docks, but Sib's going to be in that position. He's unfortunately going to lose that gunfight. So now the 3-4 in favor of the Ravens.
Okay.
Trade. But still, this play can all fall in the hands of accuracy because he's in a great position to play the clutch.
Yeah, once you get that plant down, so many different angles throughout the warehouses. And just beam 0 as well. 15 seconds, and that instantly enters the mind of the Ravens, but they know exactly where accuracy is. 10 seconds. They've got to try to shut him down. Gizmo from the top. Yeah, doesn't take down Afro. He does not take down Afro. And the defuse will be in. Aware of his position. Afro sticks it. And the Ravens, through a nail biter, are able to secure it.
That's rounds you usually don't see. If you get that B-bomb plant, especially if you're a 4v4 and it's a retake, you do not want to commit to that first challenge. The fact that Sib played that challenge towards lower docks and it eventually costed them that man advantage really allowed for the Ravens to eventually play the trades, allowed them to get pushed up towards that dock building, towards back bow house, and eventually find these kills, solo out accuracy, and not allow him to get that kill in the nick of time before Afro was able to pull off that defuse.
And again, Jay, it's impressive work. Like in a situation like that, how many times have we seen a player, when the team's in a 2-versus-1, there's not a whole lot of time on the bomb, that player just hops off the defuse. No, Afro was prepared. He's like, I'm going to go ahead and bet that my teammate's going to go ahead and clutch this. Some great plays already being made from both of these young rosters.
Yeah, play pubs for 30 minutes.
Nasty
Won't trust your teammates
didn't
anymore.
have that objective. The drop for the beginning. Gizmo does not get the trade. He does not get the trade at all.
And now it's going to be a 2v4. All left up to Afro and Zero. Zero is able to find accuracy on the late flank to make it at least a 3v2 for the time being. Afro thought he spotted one player. Now he's able to make it a 2v2. This is a winnable round now. Bomb is still going to be down at that B site. So if I'm Pred, I just want to stand right next to my teammate. You want to play the trades.
Giving him the wins.
You see
they
Zero
back
all
off
the way
soon.
across the map still, trying to push up that left side. But you eventually have to start working this bomb. Sib is able to take down Afro right here. This is basically an impossible round for Zero to try to win.
Yeah, they've got to get involved in the fight. Again, 30 seconds, you have the bomb, you have to plant that thing in order to win the round. That's how it works in Search and Destroy, and finally making their move. Sib's going to be prepared.
He got the call out though.
Puts in a few bullets with the auto and sets up his good old buddy Pred. The Apex Monster, as he's called, but
he almost
not able to grab that one.
Was...
Sib versus Zero, and really it's a prayer for Zero at this point. Sib just trying to get out of dodge as quick as possible. Check every corner you can. Are you going to check your right? He does not. Sib will stay alive, and that will be a clutch for Surge. And again, a situation where there's 30 seconds left. It's a 2-versus-2, Jay. And Zero is
that
nowhere to
point
be found.
is just
Yeah,
gotta
we have to
hide.
get closer to the bomb right there. There's no way
Surge.
we win that round without
Fucking
planting
hide.
it, or at least finding both kills. And the fact that he was all the way across the map, it wasted a lot of time on the clock, allowed these players to eventually just set up that crossfire. Great work from Sib to stay alive, to allow Pret to get that first blood. And it kind of got scary for me, because I would have liked Sib to just run back to the boathouses, play a super corner, but laid behind the boxes, eventually close out the round. And something so far throughout this map, we've seen a lot of defensive wins. I usually see a lot of offensive wins. This is throwing me off, but Zero's going to open up with that first blood onto Sib with the snipe.
Towards the long halls. Making his presence felt already off the start. That's going to be 2 snipes for Zero.
Ooh.
Finally gets met with some shots from range. Mac takes
snipe
him down
from
with the
Zero?
headshot into the 2 versus 2.
Yeah,
Accuracy and Mac trying to secure
No, I
the
was
final
looking at
round for the
Gravy.
Surge. Can the Ravens force the round 11 as the plant will be in? Accuracy holding the long round. Mac up close. How do Afro and Nasty look to play this? One toward the back alley, at least for a moment. Mac just trying to make sure that nobody's going to be able to hop on this defuse, at least without some information gained. Accuracy takes down one toward the street, and now it is all up to Afro. 1 versus 2, trying to prioritize who to go for first, and realizing there's not a whole lot of time left on the bomb. He goes for the long route, doesn't even have time to even get to the defuse. 15 seconds, and Mac is still there. This is going to take all the work in the world. It's going to have to take a perfect miracle. Coming right to the bomb site, Afro not going to be able to spot Mac.
Nah! Let's go!
And that will be the game.
Game
Surge.
He didn't do either.
In the big moments, clutch moments, making the biggest of plays.
Was that
And
because
really
his
takes the
teammate yelling
same
at him?
story as the hard point. London, they
Fucking
get close,
dickhead.
they make it close, but just not able to grab the ones at
If
the
we
end,
are
not able
ever
to
on a
cross the
protein
finish line
together,
this time.
you better treat me like trash.
Great work from the Surge throughout that entire search and destroy. Like I said, we usually do not see
You know,
a majority of defensive
I don't
wins.
think
We even
people
saw 4
appreciate
before
getting yelled at
retakes on
for
B.
stuff
That
anymore.
does not happen. But the fact that the Surge were able to win at least 2
You know,
offensive rounds, that is what put them over the edge on this map. Great work coming in from Mac once again, leading his team with 11 and 7. Sit right behind him, 8 and 5, picking up a nasty piece with the snipe. Just overall great work from the Surge. And
Well,
from
remember
what
what I
the
told
Surge
you
has
the
shown
other
so
night?
far, this is a really young team. The fact that they're
You
staying
told me
so
to do
composed
something,
here,
I would-
making sure that
I
they're
would
setting
take
up
a
these
bullet
crossfires.
to
No
the
one is getting
face
overzealous.
before I
No
would have
one is
left
trying
this
to
fat
overchallenge.
match.
They're just doing the right things. So far, it's working.
I would have
As
dove
well as
in front of the
take a look at
truck
highlights. I mean,
before I
how
lost that
much
match.
props do you give to somebody
That's
like
like,
Accuracy, who was preparing these
Tyson,
guys?
he, like,
Obviously,
credits
didn't know
most
search
of
and
his
destroy,
wins
didn't know how to
to
play it,
coach
but in
coach
terms
and
of
had
being at the
the switches.
highest level of competition, how much props do you
Put him
give
in that headspace
Accuracy
where he needed to
for the
be.
way that his team played here?
Gotta
Dude,
give him
can
a
we
lot,
talk?
man, because at the end of the day, he's their
Seattle
island player.
Surge
He's
is
calling shots
solid.
as their island player. He has no idea what's
Like,
going on the opposite side of the map.
across
He just
the
has
board,
a ton
like,
of faith in
they're
his young
looking
players to really step up in the
solid, man.
moment. And right there, Mac and
Mac's
Sip really just
nutty.
took over the game, man.
Mac-
Opening up with first
Mac
round,
had
left and
was
right.
0
Mac
and
was able to
3,
like
and then
ace this
got
round,
an ace.
making it look easy, man. It was just great, clean work from the Surge. Just keep it simple. No one tried to be the hero. They just got the job done by setting up the crossfires, working their defense.
Mac was 0 and 3, and then went and got an ace like a fucking
Yeah, a
ball.
lot of high-level plays, but again, in the final round,
How
just not
awesome is
enough
that?
time for the Ravens.
Yeah,
Same
I
thing
mean-
could be said.
You know,
on
watching this shit
Bocage,
makes
just
me
not
want to
able
practice.
Choked
to get
so
across
hard.
the
If
finish
he
line.
would have
The Seattle
prone
Surge now find
and went for the
themselves
defuse,
up
I could have
2-0,
understood he lost.
and
If he
like I
would
said,
have
in
went for
terms
back, I
of
could have
maybe
understood he lost.
off-season power
But he
rankings,
didn't.
you
He
expect
didn't
the Surge
either.
to be in a position like this, but it has been back-to-back close maps. And now stuff with Tuscan
Why do they
Control
keep
up
doing
next. I know
Control
we'll have a
on
commercial
Tuscan?
break here in just a moment.
I don't
but
know.
where does your confidence lie right now with the Ravens, given how they've played so far?
It's kind of difficult, man. It's kind of difficult.
Ah.
Your first time that you guys are
You guys are the
as
exact
a
same
unit
map lineup
on
from
this
last-
main stage, and you're finding
No,
yourself down in
the
a
last
situation
one.
where
Well,
you
the
could
other one was going to be
potentially
Desert
win either one
Sea
of
for
those
Game
maps.
5.
It's all about just
But,
letting those maps go, because we saw what LA
they didn't
were
make
able
it
to
to
do in
Game
their
5.
last series. Even though they were down 0-2, they won 2 offensive rounds. I feel like the team that can pull off the most offensive rounds in that mode is going to be able to walk away with it.
Yeah, and we saw it happen a few times, as you
I'm
mentioned,
just,
in our
you
last
know,
series between the Florida Mutineers and
I'm
the
so
LA
happy
Guerrillas.
that we're
Well, it's
fucking
2-0 for the
winning,
Surge. Will it be the 3-0
that we're controls
sweep, or
here.
could this be the
We're
start
playing
of
control.
something special? The Ravens
I want to be in the game
already
and not
put
allow
in a
it, though.
position
Like,
where
you
they're
don't
going
need
to
to-
have to
I
try
understand that,
and
yeah.
clutch up, and will Tuscan Control be that
It's
very
literally a CDL
map?
design,
Folks, when
or
we
it's
come
literally a
back,
game
it
mode
is
designed
time
for
for
CDL.
map 3.
Them not to let it be theirs.
Control, stay with
Yeah,
us.
like,
I think Control control went so well in Cold War. Cold War's control, like competitive, was fantastic.
You know, the more I watch videos on Cold War, the more I want to go back to it. It feels more clunky, but just watching people play it.
Because it has that classic COD feel.
It has that Black Ops feel.
It is a Black Ops game.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It has that Black Ops feel.
Treyarch, baby. Here's to you. Give me something good. I'll come fucking play professionally.
Have you watched the new Spider-Man?
No.
I swear to God, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
When'd you watch? What's the movie set?
No, I watched it on.
Oh, y'all bought it on TV?
I didn't buy it. I rented it for like $5. But yeah, it was really good. I would say it's better than Endgame. I'm not really into people stuff much anymore. It's cheesy, but my God. I'm sure by now you know it has Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well. I think Andrew Garfield's getting another The Amazing Spider-Man.
Come on, Serge. We need one more.
I can't watch them.
Who?
COD League. I'm flicking and playing like them. Jesus. I'm whipping this pistol around like it's a sniper. Like side canceling and crap. Blow peeking corners with on DOS house. Like I give a crap. No, this pistol don't wop pow 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 pow. It bang, bang, bang. That's it. If you expect it to go wop pow pow pow, boy, do I have news for you.
What the?
Now the rat goes wop pow 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 pow. And every single one of them bullets are lethal and hardcore.
Oh look, another Muhammad Ali clip.
Do people really not understand how to like pre-aim before you peek a corner?
No. You know, I look at Muhammad Ali so much differently now.
Since Baki. I wonder if they actually got who voiced him.
I have no fucking clue. There's no way they got actually him to voice him.
No, he don't sound nothing like that anymore. He's well, maybe the drooling one.
Maybe the drooling one.
Man has like 10-fold brain damage. Like
Wappa papa pop pow. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Can we stop with the Pokemon crap?
It's hilarious because
it's only her. It's
have
only
you seen the memes?
her. I've seen a couple, but not that many.
They're comparing her. They're calling her Twitch's malfeasance.
Are you serious? Oh man, that's tough.
Because they used to call her Queen Twitch. Well.
My name's Zero.
Hold on, give me a second.
Trey Morris, and I play for London Royal.
Which I would call more so Valkyrie, like,
nasty,
quote unquote, Queen Twitch.
That's fair. Valkyrie? Yeah, absolutely. I love Valkyrie. I think she's cool as hell.
She's chill too.
Exactly. She's chill. She's not like uppity and commanding. She's chill and has a decent time. I feel like there's a fine line in between it, and she rides it well. I'll be right back.
League and not just being a standard player, being one of the better ones in my opinion, is good.
Our biggest threat probably FaZe, just because they're FaZe. They were really good last year. All of
What's everyone's obsession with FaZe? Jesus Christ!
To be fair, it was a big leap. Obviously coming from challenges
positive, but Jesus.
Just because obviously I never ever spoke to the team I had last year, but like before, beforehand, so it's like going into a complete new, obviously meeting new people.
I don't know what our favourite victory meal is as a team if we don't won. After a good day of scrims, we go back and order Uber Eats. That's about it.
Shout out for mum and dad, Nan. Take me to my events when I was under 18.
Shout out these cool guys.
Welcome back, folks, to the Call of Duty League Kickoff Classic presented by Zinni Gaming. It is Seattle Surge currently leading the series at 2-0. And what, Jay? We heard it in that content piece there from the London Royal Ravens. They look at this season as a redemption year. And I know, granted, we're in the first match of the season. It's the Kickoff Classic. Teams have really yet to actually fully scrimmage modes like Control and Search and Destroy. So the season is definitely in its infancy stages. And while the Ravens find themselves down 0-2, you still have to like what you've seen, given, the fact that they're facing off against, based off of preseason power rankings, one of the better teams in Seattle. How do you think they fare off in Control, and what do you think needs to change up a little bit for them to not just get to the end, but to actually walk away with a map?
They just need to play a little bit more conservative. Like we saw in that first hard point, there was a lot of just 4 pieces happening, a lot of solo challenges happening.
Yeah.
And on a map like Control, or a game mode like Control, you only have 30 lives. You can't just give away your life that freely. So
Right.
if I'm them, slow the game down, because you know how the opposite team in the Surge are going to play. Pred and Mac, they're playing super quick. Just slow the game down, make sure that you're doing the right things, and keep it fundamental, because you have to make sure you capture that A point before you work B. Don't try to do a miracle and go towards that B point right off the rip.
Yeah, and something that we've learned so far is that the Seattle Surge, not just a young team full of incredible slayers, but a roster that seems to have some great teamwork already. Yeah. Again, you could say the same thing for the Ravens up to this point, but so far, this is the way that this series has gone. If you're just joining us, it was a Bocage hardpoint. It was a crazy one as to be expected, but it did reach that 250 mark. It was Seattle Surge walking away with that. Also, Berlin Search Destroy, a very similar story. Really different players stepping up at different times, but I feel like so far, if you were to define an MVP or to give a guy that has been the biggest difference maker, I think it's Mac.
Yeah, it's 100% Mac. Like, the guy went off first map, picked up some kill streaks to close it out, and then even in the Search and Destroy, he was opening up at the first bloods, pushing straight down middle towards Statue. Yeah. That's something you usually don't see, because Berlin is a really big map, but he was just getting the job done. So he has to be feeling really confident on the side of the Surge. And if you are on the Ravens side, like I said, it's all about just working back into this series.
Did it say Mac was pushing straight down center on Berlin?
Who's
the black guy?
Yeah,
the announcer.
Not want to go home.
I don't know why.
After a 3-0 loss, you
He
had
just
the
trashed
lane.
the
You're
back.
looking to try
He's trying to steal the limelight and keeps on trying to pull up miracles. That's why he keeps dying.
But
Who?
at the same notion, the same
Mac.
time, the very last series, it was a tough.
He's just an ace last round. What the hell are you talking about?
Secure it.
He keeps on
They were down
trying to push B by himself and pull off
but here
miracles.
we go, on into the opening attack, and it will be the London Royal Ravens on the offensive. And as we know, on a map like Tuscan Control, you saw it in the very first series, that A point, much like P1 and Tuscan Hardpoint, is
retard.
In favor of the Ravens roster. They have the ability to get there that much quicker. And so far, it has been all-out dominant. Sip with the potential challenge, able to find one, nearly finds a second through the middle side of the map, but it at least sets up his teammates to get some control from the church side of field.
And this is great work from the Surge to at least not give this up freely. You know, they did drop a couple lives there. Afro picks up a 3-piece.
It's just a matter of time.
Point.
Oh joy.
You see Nasty all the way
shit,
across the map.
London's
He's trying to do everything he can to try to pick
well.
up this 2-piece, but Mac's going to find the trade. So
Oh,
now that's going
okay.
to allow Mac to push up through P5.
That was a very quick A point, though.
Towards the
They
back
got that.
fountain side. And you just want to keep this hold as you see the Surge.
How we're gonna fight
basically
B, guys?
push
Come
into
on.
Spawn.
Surge, what we got?
London trying to attack this through the backside. Pred going to work his way towards top church. But the all-out push from the Ravens going to come in. They're able to find the first.
Okay.
And now, if you're accuracy, you have to try to go big on this flank.
See what he can do. He's able to drop Afro for the start. Gizmo currently stunned and
What?
also eliminated as well.
I just chucked a
Give
knife
a lot of time
over
to work
middle
with a minute and
of
30, but as we
shipment,
said,
and
this
it landed.
point can be a
God.
difficult one to try and secure. It can be a real booger, for being quite honest with you, but some time still for the Ravens to work with as now they start to siphon on in toward P5. The Surge players are prepared for it. Again, so cautious of where those players are spawning. They've locked down field, and now it's P5. Gizmo trying to get some progression, but once more, it's
You know,
Mac to
that was
take
a
him down.
good try by Gizmo. I'll give him
He's
that.
forcing all of the Ravens to rotate out towards the backside of Church. They have to at least push through that P1 side to try to work in towards Church and work the flank. As Surge are going to be able to find 2 kills in the
Watch your back, Pred. Watch your back,
Take a
Pred.
2-kill advantage so far. With a minute left, they are just stalling out a lot of time. No one's getting overzealous. Everyone's playing their corners correctly, winning a majority of their gunfights. As they still have control, accuracy has to try to go big as 2 players are able to sneak to the back.
Big.
Unfortunately, Gizmo's going to lose that fight. That would have been a huge one if he was able to win it.
40 seconds, fellas.
Now, minute 30. Now
All
to
right, we're
just
up by
30
3.
seconds.
Come on.
Just like that, snap of a finger, the timer continues to roll. Nobody from London really has even been able to see that B capture point. And as the time continues to tick away, the Surge's life advantage continues to expand that much further. A nice long-range shot from Sib as he's going to be called upon to have to go big once more. That's not just going to be one, it's going to be 2. But now it's Gizmo's turn on the flank. He comes out of nowhere and just takes down 2 like that. He's going to have a few teammates off of spawn. Also shuts down accuracy, but it's a team nade. They've got 4 down.
Oh, 0 killed Gizmo.
To the kill feed. That team nade with our staff is going to hurt the Surge. Taking their time. The great plays from Pred to at least eliminate a few extra players off of spawn. And the Surge trying to handle things as well as they can. 0 with only a few seconds left.
Sib is nuts, man.
And the Surge
Sib and Mac are carrying.
I
hate to say it. Like,
Max,
I understand they're SMGs, but
again,
like,
another situation, you know, when you're thinking about the play that Gizmo makes, you expect at times rosters to kind of fold in moments like that, or maybe to lose a lot of map pressure.
Yeah, Zero side-eye him.
They retake.
They slow down, man, and it was all in the plays. Honestly,
Gizmo was going in on them and pushing around. Like,
yeah, Gizmo's decent. Nasty's not bad.
As long as they have that, it's making it
feel like they're
impossible for them
choking.
to try to rotate straight to that B point from the front side. They basically were trying to hit through the middle of the map, trying to flank through that A point, and it simply was just not working. A lot of time was being wasted, and eventually Surge were able to walk away with the defense. But now we go on the offensive side for the Surge. Once again, we're going to see the early A attack. Nasty able to find a kill in towards the middle of the map. Right now, London, they have full mid-map control. This can be dangerous, as Afro is going to be able to find 2. Still, the second progression on the point is going to be there. Sib finds 2. Gizmo trying to cause the problems here. Eventually takes 1 down, but just overall great work from the Ravens. Not give up this 8 points so easy.
Yeah, that's one of the better strategies that I think that we've seen so far. It's a great nade from 0. Takes down accuracy, but kind of the slower play through Church. Allow for yourself to get some map control, and again, slow down this game.
The 8 point is so easy to
better
bully
strategy.
off, especially from the A side.
As much time as you can knock off
side.
before teams have to try to challenge over at B is really going to be the best strategy possible, but Nasty slides, and that's going to be 4 in a row now for him. Looking to set up shot, maybe toward top fire. He gets dropped as well. Now it could be Seattle Surge. They realize there could be a lane open, but Afro trying to be so careful. Not able to do it, as that'll be 3.
Mac was on New
York
York
in favor of the Surge. As they'll test their wits.
So Mac had to keep up with Clay last year.
At that 8 point. Now they're slowly starting to work up towards B.
So
you see Mac in the back.
Clay's an
Still
AR.
playing those spawn kills.
Clay
Eventually, he will get
can
taken
be.
down. But
Clay
now
got
this
a few
opens up the
titles
8
under his
point. This
belt.
should be a free
He was on New
capture
York
for
last
that A and extend his time by a minute.
New York didn't do too well last year, but
great defensive
What's
play.
the little special phase too? I understand that like reigning champs. I just want to match the
in the back of the Surge players' minds, they're going to have to watch the flank. Sib able to deal with the pressure, and so that capture will
we cap B
be a
first?
Successful one, but. And the same notion.
How does he have a flame knot?
Minute and 30,
y'all have
a little bit of less time to work with.
We're not even above 10 points yet. What do y'all do?
Around, but with 4 down, Fred already making his way toward the backside of the spawns. Accuracy, a big fight for him to win. Not able to do it. Ravens successful in the early defensive hold.
11-8. So now if you're the Surge, Mac's in a great position. He's going to allow his teammates to push out towards that P5. Just want to take your time. With a minute left, play some kills.
Put bullets into flame knot. Retards.
They have a lot of time to work with. 2 players are going to be playing towards Plat. Mac's going to try to get some info with the nade. Nothing pops up. The all-out push is about to come in. Gizmo opens up with the first. There has to be a trade here. As Gizmo finds the second. They're still holding this down, and time is just starting to dwindle. If your accuracy, he's going to be working in towards top.
I've been trying, but no one else shoots.
They still have the kill advantage, but you have to get on this point.
Yep, accuracy's gone out the book of plays, and which one could potentially do it? Some shots from range. And this could be their chance. 0, having to back up. As the Surge do win some of the early fights, at least toward this point. But they
3 left. That's point. That's point. Oh, come on. Clean up.
Once more on the trades. Really the only player that currently exists inside of the point is the lives. The biggest factor, Afro, the only man alive, a 1 versus 5. What a clutch that it could be, as that'll be 2. 3 straight, and with 10 seconds left, the Surge have got to make a move, and Afro, he knows exactly why that's the case. One player was at the ladder room. He turns, but he cannot burn. I mean, I'll be honest, Jay. Given a 1v6, 1v7, You got to give him some props for that.
He almost made it happen.
He did.
He almost made it happen. Right there was all on Mac being patient on that hop-up. Like, if Mac would have jumped into it, Afro probably gets that kill and walks away with his life. But I thought the way that the Ravens played that round in the beginning was beautiful. They did not give up A so easy. They had the live advantage, but once they allowed Search to
I need to start moving more.
set up
I
Mac
keep
in
my
the back
screen
of the
still.
for some spawn kills, eventually take that live advantage back, then it was just an easy cap at A. You just play the kills, you play it
how
correctly,
aggressive I play.
you play your position, and that's exactly what happened there as Surge were able to walk away with the round.
And you almost kind of see the
Come on,
Surge doing
Sid, you got it,
very
you got it.
similar
Push,
strat,
push,
right?
push
You're
that,
looking
push
for
that.
accuracy, look toward field, and really, they'll start to jump out of church, at least when the Ravens don't expect it. The trade is in, and with that, the stack will now begin at a watch.
Bro, really?
That capture just continued to roll. And in fact, Nasty will say, you know what, guys, I got the objective. You go ahead and push on forward. Some early control trying to be granted for the Ravens, and it works out at least to start. Gizmo now on a 2 spree, gets cut down.
And unfortunately, right there, Gizmo is trying to set up for them spawn kills, but he gets taken down by Prey.
Oh, buddy.
They still do have the man advantage, though, up by 3 kills. You see them starting to take control of Church as Afro's going to work his way through, finds 1 kill onto accuracy. They're trying to set up the pinch from the backside, but they cannot allow Surge players to be set up on P5 the way they were.
Sib's nasty with that automaton.
And Sib still lingering toward top church. Again, one of the many power positions that you're going to have to break through if you are the London Royal Ravens. 2 minutes on the clock in a situation where they have to win if they want to stay alive here at the Kickoff Classic, down 2-0. And as we said, the exact same story as the first series. LAG were down 2-0. They made the reverse sweep, at least in the control, and the Ravens will hope for that very similar storyline. Trades back and forth, Nasty up close, not able to grab it, and the Surge able to wipe away another team push out of the Ravens. Minute 30, life advantage, not too much of a problem, but again, when you got Pred in your spawn,
oh, I was looking through my bubble wrap shield.
Definitely not, man, because they know the exact timings of when you're going to be spawning. Now he's going to be working his way up through P5. This should be a free 2 for the young man. He's going to potentially turn around and find the third. Movement's kind of fleeky, Pred.
Oh, come on.
Oh!
He's going to get taken down, but still, the Surge are just doing a great job of just filling in the lanes. They're always consistently having one player focus on this P5, and this time around, it's going to be accuracy. Fortunately, it's going to be a lot of players there. You got to back down and play your life. But here comes Mac on the pinch, able to find 2. Last player in the position is going to be Nasty. He's going to drop in just like that.
I bet I could
Clean
crack
4
some
dead
people's
once again.
SMG right now.
Again for the Surge.
And you feel like in that moment, maybe the Ravens a little too tunnel vision. You see, you know, that kind of that objective in front of you. They like to run forward, and that is what Seattle have done so far throughout this game. Constant flanks, constant 2 pieces. When the Ravens are just trying to compose themselves and right on cue, that'll be a 2 for 2
Isn't this
trade.
Thompson supposed to be pretty good?
Finally, the Ravens
I think so.
able to spot that point. They will have a few close spawns in P5 as well. So Seattle gonna have to deal with this one. Can the Ravens stay alive? No progression yet at that B point. Zero not having the greatest of games, may have to make the call that potentially changes everything, continuing to pile in out of P5. Some good early kills. That'll be 3 to start, but accuracy replying with 2 of his own.
Watch your left.
The veterans trying to make plays toward the stretch. Zero once more, 5 seconds remain. London with no respawns left. Hardly any progression as they'll have to get on the point, and they're gonna have to stay here. Afro, he can't afford to stay off of this one, trying to wait for a few teammates. Players continue to drop, but Afro going as big as he can. Zero, the last one alive in Seattle, will hold on. A solid series from beginning to end, and there you see it. It's got to feel good for accuracy. A 3-0 versus the London Royal Ravens. 2 teams very similar, composed. The vets with the young guns. Challenger scene being represented across all of our regions.
No, not
but
yours.
it is Seattle's day.
I accidentally shot the guy, and I pushed into the spawn and had a quad peek coming towards me.
But Seattle, they
was
just
ready
made
for
the
it,
plays to close
and
out games.
then the guy came back and shot me.
Search and destroy, he went big. First hard point, he went huge. And even towards the very end of that game, even though he wasn't picking up a lot of kills, the fact that they were just filling in the lanes properly, just making it so difficult for London to just spawn up and decide where they wanted to go. Some players are going in towards top fire. Some players are pushing P5. Some players are pushing mid. They just couldn't get a clean push because the amount of pressure that the Surge just had.
I want to make it
able
ridiculously
to walk away with a
fast.
clean 3-0, man. And I honestly expected it. I
build.
expected the Surge, everybody that has these guys at a top ranking pretty
And
much at
just
4th right now.
let it
And I
fly.
love this team because they're such an underdog team that you don't really have high expectations of. But if you're on a redemption season, that's a good way to start it.
Yeah, that absolutely is. If you've been a Seattle Surge fan for the past few years, well, I do feel slightly bad for you. But this could be their opportunity. This could be their chance. New blood, a new roster. and a new result, at least for this kickoff classic. We talked about a number of different players, and it is the Young Guns going big in the control. 26-18 there for Sib. At the same notion, Pred 24-19. I mean, really, Jay, from start to
like
finish,
that solid player. He's not. He's like he makes plays when he needs to. He's like his KD for that match was 1.0. Like he was even. I like this guy. Where did I? Yes.
Beautiful plays, specifically right there out of Sib and Pred. They both had 18 non-trivial kills. That means that they're walking around, picking up free spawn kills.
Yeah,
no one's getting into
the ace on search.
Easy work for
He
them.
pulled it out.
If you're Mac, you gotta be.
I don't know if he got pissed off or something because he was 0-3.
But now he has the sub back in his hands. He's looking more confident than ever.
People need that pressure.
That's fair.
I think exactly that. Again, if you
I know I do.
Ravens, you know, it is back to the drawing board type of position, going up against the Seattle Surge team, which again is still questionable in regards to where they rank. All the power rankings are really based off of hardpoint, but still, you go back to the drawing board. I think somewhat excited given the result that you had. You played them close in the first two
maps.
maps.
Armor plates on hardcore.
But Control, not at all their story, as it will be a 3-0 in the books for Seattle. But again, Jay, just a number of different great plays for the team. Really, both rosters not playing like there are 4 players making their debut in this game. It felt almost like veteran teams going up against each other based off of the clutch plays, based off the diffuses, based off the long routes, the setups for these teams.
It's beautiful.
That had to be an extra.
Like experience. Like most of these guys have been playing in challenges. They know exactly what it takes.
I am so excited for.
If you're London, it's only the kickoff. It's not even the season yet. You can't be too mad about this, but you know it is a.
I'm so excited for this next match.
And make sure that you clean things up. A lot of solo challenges in the hard point. A lot of solo challenges in Search and Destroy. Cannot allow that to happen when the season starts.
Yeah, that's for sure. I feel like if you're a fan of a certain CDL team that wins at kickoff, you're like, okay, get right, we're looking solid. And if you're a team, you know, or if you're a supporter of a team that maybe didn't make it far, you get eliminated in the first round. You're like, it's just the kickoff. It's just the preseason. But still, if you are a Seattle Surge fan, it is a good sight to see. And I believe we have Blaze standing by with Pred on the main stage.
Yes, I do, Lando, and it is just a kickoff, but the Seattle Surge still came out on top. Make some noise from up here on the main stage. Now,
that's what's up.
Pred coming from Australia, representing his country, and he just lit it up on this stage. Pred, my man,
I don't want to hear from Pred. I want to hear from Mac.
First dub and being at LAN.
I hit that too hard.
Obviously, I haven't been to LAN before in the CDL, so it's my first time. First time for my team.
Who can tack mask in this?
Obviously, there's going to be many more to come.
I don't know.
That was a great feeling, man.
Yeah, yes. Many more to come. Now, in order to get that done, you got a good team around you who knows how to play the game. Tell me about the Seattle Surge and your squad and what makes you guys so great. Because we just watched you come out with a dominant 3-0.
I think our team has just got so much raw talent that once it's all put together in the right format, it can lead to the ceiling's just like so high. It can go up to any level. But I think the main thing about my team is that our vibes in game and out of game are just always good. You know, we can go out, hang out, have a good time. Like I think that's the most important thing. Like being comfortable with your teammates, and then the rest is just gonna come out naturally.
Hey, I feel that. Good vibes, and you'll be hitting some great shots out there. Yeah. Now, for the fans out there, what's the best tips on getting some great vibes with your teams? What does the Seattle Surge love to do?
Well, we love to eat, man. That's one thing. We love to eat. I don't know if many of you know, but Lamar's a big food guy, so he's always taking us out to some nice places. But actually, last night we went to a dinner and we had so much food.
Well, I'm actually jealous because I didn't get the invite, all right? Well, Pred, you're going to have to invite me to the next outing. And with that being said, that's going to do it for us up here on the stage, Pred. It was good meeting you, man. Make some more noise for the Seattle Surge.
Appreciate it.
Take it away.
All right, you guys heard from the pretty boy coming straight out of APAC. The chain is on and the vibes are high. And the Seattle Surge is going to walk away with a big victory. And Allie, how do you do it, bro? You guessed it again. The prediction is right. 3-0. Pred popped off big time this game.
No, he did. And actually, Pred, this being his debut, you know, especially in that control, I feel like is really
I've heard his name before.
We look stats across the
board. Why is he getting like limelight?
Okay, and that is huge
probably because he had the best record.
So S&D dominant. For him to bring that extra KD up in that respawn's going to be huge.
But
Well, I wonder if they interviewed Captain. Because Pred has been around. So they might interview captains.
Yeah, man, I'm loving this squad top to bottom. I think they're playing really fundamentally correct, and I think with the addition of Sam Phoenix, I'm just like super excited to watch them grow.
Because even captains get like choice of who they want to be on their team and shit.
Right now, Nameless, you got to pride
I know.
fans, man. You have
I know.
tactical play.
I know. Scump like
Yeah,
chooses his team
Search and
basically.
Destroy, right? Mac went off and got an ace, and talking about Mac a little bit, I felt like he's the X factor for this roster.
Like, how long has Scump been there?
Right? Like this guy
On Optic,
the scene 2 years ago,
period.
He's been great
I don't think
since
he's ever
receiver.
played for
He
another
rushes
team.
Right out to the statue, and he catches this push of the players trying to go.
See, he got both of them.
Like gets a two-piece, and from here on out, like they just established
What's
control on the map. And for the London Royal Ravens, they had Zero who was rocking that sniper. So being able to get that first blood, and then knowing that Zero has a sniper, it allows you to get pushed up and get in positions where it's like we have them trapped. So right now, Mac's just roaming around, trying to get some more information. He knows he has the positioning. He can see if they wrap back over towards that A side, and he's just playing off of a kill here. So, looking at a player like Mac in Search and Destroy, he needs to be a playmaker for this squad. Obviously, with a guy like Pred, he can play off the back of plays from Mac. If Mac can get up close and personal, get those first bloods, it can really let a player like Pred go out and
See,
fly and
he
use
was
his
0-3 going into this round, and then fucking wiped.
Actually, Mac was 0-3 to start that round, so he almost doubled his KD in that singular round, and I feel like that's kind of the underdog of this squad. Mac, we didn't talk about much heading into the match, and he really stepped it up here. I know this is just kickoff, but what a way to start his career this year.
Yes, and one more thing, we talk about Pred, we talk about Mac all the time, even Lamar, but
this is kind of funny.
Sam Phoenix, the coach. It's big that he's coming in and helping out the young guns, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited to see. I want to have some deeper conversations with him throughout the year because I know he's a new guy coming into the CDL, and I'm just excited to see what he can bring to this team. Obviously, with Lamar being a veteran leader, I'm excited to see what they can do together.
Yes, now for those of you at home, I don't know about you, but if it's for free, it's for me. And if you happen to link your accounts as soon as possible, if you link your Activision.
I love that I love the Salt Shaker weapon charm, and I love the fucking the next up.
It matches your emblem too.
Exactly.
Rigidness.
That next up is the shit. Hey, you get double XP shit too. Oh, this next one I'm so excited for.
See you guys soon for some more CDL Kickoff Classic action.
Okay, I built the fastest MP5 that I can. Actually, it can be faster, but I had to drop my damage for it. The Live versus Breach!
This is gonna be good.
I want to see Breach make a bust out. Please.
I want to see Crimp 6 pop the fuck off. I understand Breach is going to be the underdogs in this, being the new kid on the block and everything. But freaking New York subliners, man. Leicester's got the experience.
Thieves better win. If Thieves win, then that's going to be
Thieves versus Optic?
Yeah.
God. If Thieves beat Optic, it's... Toss all your... If Thieves beat Optic today, toss every bit of your fucking... What you thought was going to happen this season.
Is that Thieves and Optic tomorrow?
No. Thieves and Legion are today. If they beat Paris today, they'll play Optic tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Right. This better feel disgustingly fast. I don't care how bad the recoil is, I'll learn it. If it's disgustingly fast, I'll do it. It's got speed, it's got momentum, it's got like insane sprint fire speed. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
This gun.
Well, you got like SMLE pistol grip, like F8.
I don't even have SMLE unlocked yet. That's the last one I had to unlock, and this thing is disgustingly fast already. It has a little bit of recoil, but I can control it.
I kind of hope Valkyrie stays on YouTube.
With Twitch drama right now, she probably will. Because Twitch is being...
What?
Twitch is having issues.
Yeah.
No. So you've seen the whole Pokemon Gideon thing, right?
Yeah.
His ban was bullcrap 1.
Yeah.
Because the only reason they banned him is because she said something to him.
Well, it was a partial ban, like a week or something like that. And then it turned into a lifetime. after things were said. So that kind of makes me feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She obviously has something to do with it. I mean,
I think so. But Pokimane being as big as she is, I feel like she has that kind of pull. And she didn't like it, and then shit happened. I still want to know the full story of what happened with Doc. I want to know what actually happened with Doc. Because to this day, it's never been confirmed. You know that, right?
yeah. I mean, there's rumors, but there's no.
There.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with blocks.
Wasn't there a different one that they were sponsored by?
$24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Say that again?
Wasn't there a different glasses company they were sponsored by?
No, Zenny's been always been.
Who I think have a lot to prove this year. Especially some of the more, I guess, amateur younger players on that team. The two vets obviously kind of have to prove that they deserve to be in the CDL, and the two young guys are getting their first real shot. And they're under a pretty cool org. I mean, Boston New City this year in the CDL. Branding is pretty cool in my opinion. They had a pretty cool announcement video and stuff, but can't really determine how good they are until you see them play on stage. So we have a first round. I'm just excited to get up there and play Zenny again.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Welcome back to the CDL Kickoff Classic, presented by none other than Zenny. And right here on the analyst desk, I'm your host, Belly, breaking things down with Ali Cat. We got Nameless, we got my man Slack. It's been a good day so far, right? But let's talk about it. Let's talk about NYSL, matter of fact. Sure. Nameless, you're excited about this team. The fact that you got two legends together, that's disgusting.
I got New York pulling it out.
Absolutely unreal, especially as time goes on.
I got
it
going to round 5, 3-2.
Hydra. You think last year when Hydra was going up against teams like Atlanta FaZe, he was ripping them apart. I mean, in that round, in that game,
why does Neptune look
11,
like
where he beat
the turtle from Finding Nemo?
Right there, he was the real deal. So this team's gonna be dirty, man.
Let's talk about Hydra. I mean, you know a lot about him. The man pops off. I've seen him in the spin.
It's Crush. It's Crush. That's his name.
Hydra in the blue scene. He did play with Train Hard previously with Keza Whalers and Henry. And about that squad, the second Hydra leaves, their placings.
Give me some fan.
So I'm wondering, him being added to this roster, the amount he brings to the table is almost tournament placing.
Better for
you know, and looking at stats across
I put hollow points on because it does increase limb damage, and I put on the barrel that does like no additional headshot damage. Yeah, I want to be better for hitting those headshots.
You know what I'm expecting.
Okay,
that's Clayster, man. You competed a lot against the likes of him. So, what is your opinion on Clayster heading into
that
this
black guy?
Clayster is a beast, man. He's been around for a long time, right? He's obviously competed at the highest of levels, and I'm excited to see him back with his duo Crim6, and then he's going with the rookies. I love this. They're getting Neptune, obviously, and Hydra back in the books, and I'm just excited to see what he can do. He's been at the top for a long time, maybe not statistically, but his teams are always one of the ones that's always talked about to win a championship.
Yeah, man, and he got put through the ringer last year, right? Like, he on his team, he thought that, you know, the guys around him, they weren't developed enough, and now he actually has New York believes in him. He got the roster that he wants, and you think to the start of last year, he was playing phenomenal. Like, the guy was going off. So he still has it in the tank. That passion is still there, so I'm expecting Clay to be a beast, too.
You know, I'm expecting to be a beast. Now, we saw
That's
him
fair.
in the
Everybody but Clay last year was like...
Neptune was insane.
Yeah,
Nameless.
They were
I'm expecting
small.
Neptune
You know
to
what
be
I
a
mean?
big part of this team.
Yeah, you know, multi-FPS player. This
Clay.
guy's movement is next
Clayster's,
level, man. Like, that
New
is
York
why they picked
Subliners,
him up, right?
main
Like,
AR.
they want to go up against Sip and Abizi, and so having the 1-2 punch of Hydra and Neptune,
I'm learning
it's just got to be dominant,
possibly
man.
a little
But, you know,
bit
a player
too
like
much
Neptune, he's got to
about
learn a
League.
lot still. right? Like this guy was making a lot of mistakes last year, and I know Slack can speak to that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've teamed with Neptune obviously personally, and I've always said forever that his gun skill and movement is a 10 out of 10.
I like it a lot, actually.
You can kind of teach him throughout the year. Hopefully, they can make him more of a fundamental.
There's only one thing I like more
with this other submachine gun duo and Hydra.
And that's right.
And Crim Alley now having a veteran of his stature. I mean, that is a big deal. This year, Crim enters another year of the CDL, and we're expecting him to just be C6 as usual, right?
Okay. And once again, we talked about scrims.
I need damage. I gotta have more damage.
Heading into our kickoff class.
I don't know what's dropping my damage that low, but
scrims, man, he was on fire. I really think this might be his game this year. He's really elevated not only his social presence, but his gameplay as well. Now, stats from last year are pretty mid, to be honest, but it's Crim 6. We know he's gonna.
I'm not sitting still, so you can.
Now let's talk about one of the newest teams in the CDL, and this one came at a big surprise to me. The Boston Breach. I love the colors. I love the logo. I love everything about them. Right? Personality is a big there, but also another thing that's big is going to be Capsule. Now, Ali, what is your total thought about this team?
Honestly, on paper and from their video, I love them. I want to root for this team, and I think they really could be a top 4 team going later on into the season. But right off the bat, man, I think they're seriously going to struggle. I respect kind of going out on a limb and picking up Capsule, even though he didn't play so well in Challengers. That's not always the full story, you know. So across the board, I think this team has a lot of potential, but early on.
What is Challengers?
Yes, now for those of you that don't know anything about a lot of players on this team, we actually have a profile video that's going to teach us a lot more about
You're in
this
hardcore, why would fortify work?
Let's go ahead and check it out.
Thomas Haley, and I play for the Boston Breach.
You're playing hardcore, so reduce explosive damage is gonna not kill you.
Dylan Coke.
Kenyon Sutton. The Kickoff Classic for us, I feel like, is just sort of a way to break these two guys in. Their first time playing on land, me and him are pretty.
It's hilarious because as soon as you put out attack dogs,
pretty much
everybody whips out rocket launchers.
Get the nerves out.
Everybody needs those kills.
Everything and just get the feel for it.
Kind of just like a confidence booster going into the regular season.
I think we could probably win the whole thing.
Yes. Yes. They put us as the quote-unquote founding fathers, so that's good to know that we're helping building the brand, so we're always going to be in the brand. As a rookie, there's always pressure because there's going to be people saying, I don't deserve to be in the league and all that stuff, and it puts a weight on your back.
All eyes are basically on us to see how well we can work together and if we truly deserve the spot, which I do think we do. I mean, I've been doing it for so long that everybody sort of had my back every step of the way, so they know who they are.
Shout out to my family as well, and I also want to shout out to Boston fans supporting us this year.
1v3 in real life, he's winning.
Yeah.
1v3 in game, and in game. Undoubtedly, I'm winning.
The confidence is out with this team, and I absolutely love it. But Slack, Jermaine Smith is one of your old teammates. He's talking about how excited he is to be here once again with a brand new team. You gotta love it for your old friend, man.
Man, I'm so excited that he gets another opportunity to play, obviously at the top level with his rough pass in the year with Toronto being benched and then having to sit out the entire year. I just can't wait to see what he can do with his new faces, these new rookies, and his good friend TJ.
Yeah, and Method's name got thrown around in the dirt a little bit, right? Like he gets, benched on his team, Insight comes in, they end up winning an event and becoming one of the best teams in the game. So he's got something to prove, man. He's got to come out here and play great. A lot of people call him a slow statue AR. A lot of people say that play style can't work in Call of Duty anymore. You see it all the time on Reddit. You see it on Twitter. And if you think that doesn't get to Zinni, you're crazy. He's thinking about that. He's going to come out here and he's going to show why he deserves to be in the league.
I wish you could see
every
my
single
screen.
week. We need more teams in the league. We need more teams in the league. I need to have a spot. Well, he got a spot. Boston Breach believes in him. I believe in the management team behind them as well, and Zed and Dens. I think they have a good thing going for them, so let's see them put it to work.
And the CDO getting bigger is even better for us right now. Let's talk about TJ Haley as well. Man, TJ came into the scene. The man was hot, so the expectations for him, ultimately, is for him to get back to his old ways.
Yeah, no, TJ is very hot and cold for me. When he starts popping off, he seems to be an unstoppable force on the map, but he just needs to be more consistent. And being a veteran on this squad as well, I'm hoping his voice is as well being looked over for Cap and Nero.
I'm super excited to watch him play this year as well. With this game being super fast and aggressive, I know he's going to bring a lot to the team, and he loves challenge a gunfight, and that is what he's going to get to do this year.
Right, I heard that in the crowd. Go ahead and make some noise for one of the rookies. It's going to be big. Capsule right there.
Yeah.
Nameless. I'm loving what I see from him. He flew under the radar, and I have high hopes for him.
Bro, he's an absolute unit. I want to see him go off up there on that stage. We've been watching him in scrims with that SMG. He knows what he's doing. He's got some veteran teammates alongside him to teach him along the way. And there's just something always special about the unknown, right? Like, we know he played in challengers and he did okay, top 6, top 8 placings, but he's going up against the big dogs now in the CDL. So let's see what he's capable of.
Now, this is a scary thing, though, because, I mean, we look at how players like Pred pop off and all these rookies having their first time up there, but Slack, it's not that easy when you're on that main stage, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're literally coming down to one best of 5 right here to see what Capsule and Nero Poison can do. I'm super excited. I hope they come out hot and turn some heads, and I can't wait to get into this match.
Yeah, Ali, we have,
what are they gonna
this is the
do?
biggest year for rookies in the CDL, actually. I believe, what, 50%, right? Now, you coming up from challengers as well. I mean, we got to root for
62
them.
kills
It
each
literally warms my heart. I am so excited to see so many challenger players be brought up just from
I'm about to
watching
put prone
them,
on
seeing
my
the passion that they
front
put
mouse
in,
button
man. Some of those games
and
of
switch my melee to
challengers
my
were
scroll wheel.
ridiculously exciting, and now I'm hoping they can bring it here to main stage.
All right,
Drop shot
ladies and
better.
gentlemen, we have the players getting ready, and the match is about to start shortly. But
Is your
before we
switch
do,
weapons
we
not
have a
your
good
scroll wheel?
game coming up.
That's what happens in my
NYSL
scroll
versus
wheel.
Boston Breach.
I'm
We
saying
got the
I want to
Vets
put my
versus the new
prone.
team out there.
I have my
I can't wait.
back
We'll see you on the
thumb
other
button
side of this break
is
for more
crouch,
CDL
and my front thumb button is
Melee.
my melee.
Yeah, same.
I'm thinking about setting it to press on my scroll wheel, my melee, and setting prone to my front mouse button so I can have easier access to both.
Maybe.
Be able to make
Just
that
don't-
selection.
Just make sure to set your scroll wheel sensitivity because if you go
No,
to press it, switch weapons.
not scroll. Set it to the press.
Shut up and listen.
What does
Say-
my scroll sensitivity have to do with my press, though?
Because if you click it once or twice or click it whenever you go to press it, you'll switch weapon.
Oh, sure. Sorry, my brain's running really, really fast right now for some reason.
That's why I
And
said
it's
shut up and
working.
listen.
It's working really, really well.
Get off the crack.
I haven't even had caffeine today. You retard. Are you kidding me? I do a full push all the way over, and then you jump in front of me.
Start a Call of Duty team.
Oh, what?
What?
What'd you say?
We'll start a Call of Duty team.
Well, here's the one problem with that. Evil.
What? People?
Evil. Yeah. You two retards are letting them shoot you in the back and going back there and letting him do the same thing. I didn't just do that. I'm disgusting.
See, I'm gonna look at gunless like a whole different way. The rest of the season, because he's talked shit like he hasn't. I don't think he's talked shit, but he has talked a lot about Vanguard. He's one of the. I feel like he's one of the only people I see talking about Vanguard and stuff.
When you compete as long as I have, you learn a thing or two.
It's because I'm pushing him so fast that they won't set spawns.
It stays the same.
But I'm also eating them on the return and come.
Practice, scrim, compete, eat, sleep, repeat.
Dylan, attach, ready to rock.
You
You don't give up, though. You don't stop. You don't quit till you're the best. I'm always searching for that next competitive edge.
Yo, Dylan, you good, bro?
I must have fell asleep. What's up, Eli?
Check what came through the office today.
Looks like my next edge found me. Visit
That was
zenny.com/CDL
kinda
to
gay,
get a pair of rocker
but
zennies or
that's
any of
kinda
your
cool.
other favorite CDL teams today.
118 kills, almost
Texas,
having
make
death.
some noise for yourselves!
Oh my
I
god.
know you guys are having an awesome time,
Phases
but I
on
hope
the
you're having a
front page of
fantastic time
the
at home as
front
well.
website.
It is time to get our third series of the day kicked off. And do that, we got to bring out the first squad. I introduce to you the New York Subliners.
They're only $30 a pair.
Why?
Those glasses. Yeah.
You got Clayster.
Oh my god.
Neptune. Crimson
118
Hydra.
eliminations.
Make some noise for the Subliners.
15 deaths.
Wait, what?
118 eliminations, 15 deaths. On Doss House. With that
God.
MP5.
Dude, I'd be terrified if I was
Yeah.
on the other side of that stage of that man right now.
Yeah, Blaze, New York Subliners are looking good, man, but what we want to see
I want to
is
see Crimson
the
go
new
nuts.
addition to the
I wanna
CDL.
see-
I also want.
Yeah, we definitely want to see
whatchamacallit?
that because we got a new rivalry in the CDL.
Boston
It's
wins.
going to be New York up against, I introduce to you,
I want Boston
the
win because of
Boston
new.
Rouge.
I would love if they actually won, like, phase one.
So people saying Boston's looking good, man. It's funny because you hear boos and yays and everything in these fucking crowds. I love it. I love that so much. Especially when I'm the type of person that like fuels off of hate.
Yeah, Allie said she'd be afraid
Are
if
you-
she's sitting
you're
across
not
from
in gaming
Grim on
anymore,
that
are you?
stage. I
No.
tell you what, I'd be afraid if I was sitting across from Captain on
I'll
that
be able to
stage.
make you
Let's see if he
fight
goes off.
this
though.
MP5.
Blaze, this is looking like an
UFO.
amazing matchup, man. We're loving it.
Oh, I'm loving it up here on the main stage. It's New York versus Boston. How can you not love it? Valley, I'm going to need you to break this series down. And chat, get ready. You don't want to miss out.
All right, all right. By the way, Blaze is killing it on that
Yeah, he
main
is. He looks
stage.
great.
I'm loving the energy from my man's right there. But let's talk about the match for
Their
just
logo
a
and,
moment.
like,
Let's talk about the
background
keys
and stuff
to
kind of has, like,
victory
old
for
school
just a
optic
second.
vibes.
And looking at a veteran
Before they got
squad
cleaner,
like
like,
NYSL,
that
Yeah.
light
and
green
it
and
should look
stuff.
easy on
Yeah.
paper, but in order to win, they're going to have to do what?
Yeah, let's talk about these game fuel keys to victory. I mean, looking at Crim, he's going to need to step up. His individual performance at times, it cannot be that great. And in this game, he's going to be a flex player, right? So you're going to have to run an AR, run an SMG. So he's going to have to be dynamic
Checkmate
on the map.
Gaming
So I'm looking at him to
is
step
like
it up.
the
And then
official
also
Challenger
develop this young
League
talent. You look at Hydra and
site
Neptune, they're
for COD.
individually unbelievable, but they have to develop them throughout this game.
Right now, also when it comes to New York, I mean, Allie, the expectations are high. I mean, on
I don't want to
paper,
say it's
this
too
team
late
looks
to
stacked.
actually join the league this year because it
They'll
is.
probably win a few ships this year,
But
maybe. I'm on the hype train.
There's a big hype.
We might be
train
getting
for
a second
this
year in
team,
Vanguard,
and
though.
Crim and Clay, really, they just need to mold
That
the
might be
talent
true.
in Neptune and Hydra. We've seen Clay do it before with Abizi and Simp, so I don't see why this could be any different.
All right, and now let's talk about Boston, a new addition to the CDL, Slacked. When it comes to them, some of your boys are on that team, some ex-teammates. What's going to be some keys of victory, man?
So the main thing I want to see from the Boston Breach in this series is kind of just use this as like a stepping stone, right? I want them to have fun when they're playing and let the little rookies like learn to perform on land, right?
Yeah.
I just want them to enjoy themselves, play like they're having fun at home, and then I want to see Methods and TJ Halley just do their thing, be good veteran leaders, and just allow them to enjoy themselves when they're playing.
Right, and Nameless, this is a big test for them, but it's important for Boston Breach to realize that this is a kickoff classic, and even if they lose today, we still have high hopes for them in the future.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the building blocks of the future of Boston, right? Keep in mind, this is also the start of the Boston and New York rivalry, right? So they don't want to start off with an L either. So they're going to have to come out the gates hot.
That's
Lando
fair.
Steady, you guys had
Boston's
your hands full with some
awful
good
close
games.
to New
Stay
York.
steady. I'm loving the energy you brought earlier, man. Lando and Steady, take it away.
Thank you so much, Valley. Absolutely. We're super stoked for this match. Obviously, because we see Boston Breach for the first time. You see a new roster in New York as well. But also, it is about
Eddie
the
and Lando.
rivalry. New York versus Boston. Jay, I know you're quite familiar with this rivalry.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this. If you just think about the New York-Boston rivalry, we already have Yankees, Red Sox, Celtics, Knicks. And now we got Subliners and Breach. I don't think it gets any better than this, man. And this is going to be a rivalry every single time they play.
Oh, yeah.
Online, LAN, doesn't matter. It's always going to be an absolute battle between both.
It's going to be so fun, man. It's going to be so fun. The greatest sports rivalry of all time now enters in and for their very first encounter. Let's go and take a look at our maps and modes. Yes, it is going to be
Tuscan S&D.
We're excited. Tuscan Search, Destroy, Gavutu.
Let's go. We got Tuscan S&D.
Berlin S&D to close it out. If we can get to a map 4 or map 5, which I think this series has got the legs to do it. You also see the map bans at the bottom. But in regards to the map vetoes, in regards to the set that we do have, Jay, thoughts on this one?
I really like NYSL in this series right here when it comes to these maps. Like on Bold Cage, you're going to allow Crim 6 to run that third sub. But you still have your two main subs, Neptune and Hydra.
Oh,
They're going up against a
Crim
young
6
roster
is playing
in Boston.
Flint.
Two rookies in Nero and Cap that have to try to keep up with the levels of their play. And then when you go into that Gavutu control, that is where we're really going to see Crim 6 and Clayster really step up in that AR department. I'm pretty sure Neptune is going to be the third AR, so I feel like they're a lot more comfortable there. But I feel like this first map is going to tell us everything we need to know about New York. I'm expecting high stuff from Breach because I've been watching them so much in their scrims. They're consistently just playing really well, and I'm excited to see what this battle is going to bring us.
Yeah, and there's been talk, right, on the timeline. There's been talk coming into this matchup specifically how much pressure that is on the Boston Breach. And you know, there have been people who've discussed, oh, there's no pressure, it's just the Kickoff Classic. But I think Methods has even discussed it. You know what? Hey, this is my first time on LAN in 2 years. This is the debut for 2 players in both Cap and Nero. At the same notion, this is the very first series for Boston Breach, and I'm sure that they would love to walk away with it, and especially in a rivalry-type match. I mean, what, Jay? It cannot be understated how important and how great this would be for Boston to start off their career, their history in the CDL with a victory, and versus a very, very solid team on the other side of New York.
It would be beautiful, man, if they can come out and get this win, man. To start with a new organization, basically a brand new roster, players coming back after some time off, players from Challengers stepping up. This is all fresh, man. I just hope that the work that they put in, they can keep the same stuff that they were doing online here, because you know with young players, those jitters can get to you. You're going up against Clayster and Crim. These guys have been probably players you've been watching your entire life, so you can be a little bit nervous.
I mean, let's be frank. They've probably like Clay and Crim have probably been competing whenever like Cap and Nero were born. Like,
probably.
It kind of works out roughly, somewhat like.
You going
that,
yet? Or we're still intro?
We're introing, but like we're kicking up. They're seated and everything.
Right?
Yep, they're pretty up
there.
Yep.
You call him Old Man Jim for a reason. We love Clay.
Yeah, we love Clay.
And they've got plenty of accolades that have acquired over that time. But we obviously love to give those guys, a little bit of a run from time to time. But again, it cannot be understated when it comes down to this Boston Breach lineup. As you referenced, this is a big series for these guys. It is going to be important. And also the same thing can be said when we look at how the kickoff goes. The way that we interpret stage 1 could very well be based off of one match. Like, we get one sample size, and it goes back to the thing that we talked about earlier. If you're a team that walks away with the series, we instantly think you're great. If you come into this one and get smoked, I mean, hey, that's got to do a little bit to your confidence. Granted, it is one series, but that series sits in your mind for a while.
Yeah, it definitely will be in your mind, but good thing that it's a kickoff. This season hasn't even started yet, so if they come out and they lose this one, it's still a very young team. They just got to go back and put in the work, man. They're going up against a veteran squad, and what I really like about the new New York team is that with Neptune now on this roster, you just got to go back and think what Clay and Crim were able to do when they won that World Championship together. That was the first year that Shotzi came into the league. They molded that player into a totally different player, and he's a god SMG now. So if they can develop the same way with Shotzi that they can with Neptune, that could be huge, man, because Neptune wasn't playing with Clayster and Crim. He was playing with Awakening Skies, a little bit younger players. But now he's got the veterans on his team. It's all about learning how to play fundamentally correct, like the Death said.
Yeah, without question. Like you said, literally we went from Botsy to the MVP of the season. So if they can do that, like I said, the limits are endless when it comes down to a player like Neptune. But you see the timeline going off. Methods versus Crim 6. It is going to be a fire match indeed. John Peterson, we could not be more stoked, but we are going to send it to a quick little commercial break. When we come back, it is Boston versus New York on the cage.
Yo, Thieves just won a Halo match.
What?
Thieves just beat Cloud9, I think, in Halo. Now first place in Group A. don't know what that means. I think it's Halo going on right now too. Halo's not been doing any marketing for like Pro League though, you know?
That's fair. I haven't hardly heard crap about it other than what you tell me.
Seattle Surge plays FaZe tomorrow.
That's could either go really well or really bad.
I got FaZe winning 3-1.
You do?
For tomorrow.
Three 3-1?
Yeah.
You think Surge ain't gonna put up? You think Surge isn't gonna put up that much of a fight?
I think they're going to put up a fight, but I think they're just going to come up short. Although after the performance from Mac, man, dude, wow. Mac and Sia both just going off.
I hate everyone.
You mean the big dog and the small dog?
The Kickoff Classic, what it means to me and the team is just building our confidence for the rest of the season. But I would say for us, we definitely need
there is no.
I think this year was my dream before. That's still my dream. It's just like an accomplishment in my life.
They look like
really
street kids.
Playing with
Crim 6 and Clay.
He's winning a 1v3.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah, I feel like it depends on like
Crim
where
6 and
Crim
Clay look like the
is, right?
veterans
Winners
because they
finals,
are,
grand finals,
you know.
23, I think Crim's got that.
And then Neptune and I forget the other guy's name.
Shout out my girl.
Look,
she's been like super supportive.
Neptune
of me.
and what is it? Paco. Neptune and Paco look like kids they picked up off the street, but it often looked like they're just trying to mold them.
GB match and then I'd get yanked, disconnected. I'd text the team like, good luck.
The way I feel with the transition from Florida Mutineers to the New York Subliners is
That's fair. I think Crim 6 had some LAN issues
really
last year, year before.
Just the greatest of all time.
Not LAN
Every
issues,
single
but
day I
like
go into practice,
connectivity
it's just
issues.
intense. I feel like I'm putting in more
And if they
work.
get pulled,
In a
I
very
don't
short
think
time,
they're
we
allowed to
become
like get back
already
in.
a pretty close knit group. We can
Like-
be loud with each other. We can
That's
criticize
kinda-
each other. We can kind of crack on each other, joke with each
jank.
other, but just keep believing, right? This process
But
works.
you
follow
know,
the plan, and
all this
hopefully
COVID
we,
bullshit is
see
just
results at the end of the season.
that's how it is.
You have got to love that New York Subliners team. That is without a doubt. We love the content. We also love the support in the crowd. You got some Boston Breach merchandise. We got some signs already. We got some signatures as well. That is a
If we go to a place, I hope you realize I'm getting
group of individuals
every
right
single
there.
person signature I can.
Get back to that New York video. That is hilarious. I can just imagine, like, little Crim who's
gonna be walking
going
around
up to
with
his
Scuff.
mom, like, hey,
We done this. We done this.
Give me
We
back
done
the
Maybe-
this.
Discord,
no,
Bob.
maybe
What's
the
going on? I'm trying to
case.
play my GB right now.
Or- I don't want it on the actual controller.
But also, like, you can kind
You
of
wouldn't
see
let
it too.
Scum
Like,
sign your
you
Scum
can totally
controller.
see the age gap.
No,
like in that
not-
video.
maybe
You
the
got
case.
Two parents on
Or
the
my
side,
forehead.
and you got the young guns in the middle. It's gonna be great content all year long. But I gotta imagine those comments have got to be hilarious.
They're interchangeable shells too.
100%.
Like,
You heard Hydra? He's
They
like,
don't
I'm little dog,
change.
I'm little dog. And right now, you're definitely big dog. I'm 100% the
Well,
little dog.
they're-
I cannot
why
wait
is
for
it less
this
easy
match
to
start.
interchangeable shells?
This is going to be an absolute
Just
battle.
because I'm a
The way
tech
that I
person,
really
don't
wanna
mean you
focus
can always say
It
that.
has to be
But
Capsule.
yes,
This guy
kinda.
on his first main stage match, going up against some of the best players to ever touch Call of Duty, I just need him to just do what he needs to do. Don't try to be the hero. Go out there and play your game.
Don't try to
Just
be the hero,
confident
just
with your
do it
teammates.
right.
Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Focus on your job.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that
Hydra?
the emphasis is even,
Is that
kind
his
of
name?
brighter, if you
Yeah.
will, on a player like
Where
that.
did I get-
Considering that we are going to have a Bocage to start off
whatever.
this
Paco.
series.
We
So
said
if we're talking
Paco,
SMG
didn't we?
Players, you're
Yeah.
going to be involved in the fight.
Where did we
I
get
thought
Paco?
Shotworm.
That's what his
This is the
jersey
greatest
said, but it don't say
opportunity
that
and
now. It
probably
says
the
Hydra
best
now.
map for you potentially if you do get off to
He
a
probably
hot
just
start.
borrowed
The same
somebody's
notion,
jersey.
Jay. We talked about the SMG duo that
Like,
exists on the other
they
side.
have like bench players and
Paco
shit.
and Neptune,
Yeah.
those
They
two
also have
guys
other
together,
people with, like,
and now
their jerseys,
under the
but-
guidance, if you will, especially for Neptune now with Clay and Crim, that could also be terrifying too.
Yeah, it definitely can be terrifying, but you just got to keep in mind, like, this team hasn't really had a lot of time to practice.
That's
Like,
true, yeah.
Over the holidays,
That's odd.
Hydra was that player who had to go back to France and have spend time with his family. So they were about like 3 weeks delayed on scrims.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were
Why is everybody else drinking out of bottles?
Came to all the coaches
You want to know something funny too?
They were still in 6th spot. So I'm excited to see what these guys are able to do today. Obviously, not
watch how much Crim 6 drinks this
match. They
match.
can still definitely get the job done.
And
if it cuts to like them in between matches,
we talk about being on
or like it cuts to them in between rounds, he will drink at least 2 water bottles on that stage.
The pressure that does exist with this Boston Breach team, the way that they have looked in the power rankings, the fact that this
he's
has been ranked
always done it too. I don't know why,
but
I've drank 5 bottles of water since I've sat down here and started watching this.
Kind of representing this organization for their very first series.
You know, it's not healthy.
This rivalry game.
I'm at a 2
How important do you think that first map is for Boston and really the conference throughout the rest of the series?
Oh, it's huge, man. Especially on a map like Bocage. Like
3 bags of popcorn
players
that
who can
made
pull out SMGs at any point.
Yeah.
Crim 6 is probably going to be a little bit more uncomfortable on the NYSL side, but I just expect TJ Halley, Cap, and Nero, because Nero, he's a player who's been dominating Challengers for quite some time.
I understand.
He has
you
to
know,
step up. I know he has the ability
Bokage
to be the best
Hardpoint,
player on
I
this
understand
team,
this.
and they have to show
Like, you know,
I know we continue to
that's
talk
kind
about
of
the pressure factor, but again,
Us
it's
in
always
third.
going to be a
I've already
story.
told you this. We've already seen this.
First series, do the nerves affect you, or is it rather
And we got Gubitu.
rise to the occasion? Again, another look at our maps and modes. We're still working on getting into
Oh,
this
that
map.
no.
Snipers.
No.
Slight delay, but there you have it again.
Not
Bokage,
control.
Hardpoint, Tuscan Search and Destroy, Gabutu control, and then finally the last 2 will be on Berlin.
I want to see how they're going to fight it.
Specifically,
I want to see how they're going to fight it.
I'd love to see it. We haven't seen a map 5 yet so far in the 2022 season, and quite frankly, this could be the series.
It definitely can, man, because this rivalry, it just adds something new to these players. Like the fact that it's New York versus Boston, one of the best of all-time rivalries in everything. This is going to be an absolute battle from start to finish. I'm looking at these players, Methods and TJ. TJ needs to step it up. You see his stats from last season. He has to be an all-star for this team to see success. And then Methods, he just has to be the consistent player, make sure that he's controlling his teammates, controlling those spawns, and keeping everything calm. Because with such young players, it can get out of control.
Yeah, without question. As we referenced, it's not just about the rookies, but it also is about the vets of this roster specifically. That guy on your screen. I mean, what? Ali brought it up on the desk. She was talking how TJ can be the X factor for this team. We've seen it before. TJ who can take over maps, TJ who can win you series, and at times a TJ that maybe doesn't perform as great, and you see the team really get affected by his results specifically. I know he had a rough season last year with the LA Thieves. I mean, he was constantly in the rotation, out of the rotation. We know how many roster change LA Thieves made, and really, quite frankly, he was caught in the crossfire of all of it.
Yeah, he was, man. But now he has the opportunity to just bounce back.
Yeah.
He gets this opportunity on Boston. You can completely wipe everything that happened last year and just focus on the task at hand. He needs to be an all-star for this team to be a top roster.
Yeah, well, we've labeled it quite well. As we said, this rivalry, New York versus Boston, it only continues to get more intense, that's for sure. But I know we will be having a break here in just a moment. But, hey, there's still a lot to be excited about. I know we're working out, getting some things figured out on stage, making sure that everybody is playing at the best levels possible, getting those headsets tuned up, making sure those
too long and they're
are nice and refreshing. And boy, do we
Yeah.
have a series ready for you. In just a few moments, we'll throw it to a break. When we come back,
Another break. They just something messed up with the systems as well.
You could, how he said that, you could tell like something's going wrong.
Need a golden doodle in my life. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Only if you knew. Tasty posted it. The first comment, thank you, Tasty, but you didn't mention how long we need to cook it in the oven.
I mean,
In Korea, dogs are a delicacy. Just saying, they herd them like cattle. It's all about perception.
I don't want nacho cheese.
What?
I don't want nacho cheese.
What do you call cheese that ain't yours?
You know, the voice mod can connect to your phone.
Really?
Yeah, you can control it like your phone. You can set your phone inside you like a screen deck.
That's cool.
I think it has like a Twitch plugin too, for if people donate bits, they can hear either sounds or voice mods for a limited time. Come on, I want to see the button. These exclamation ones I want to see.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know the only Billy Quarterly?
Really?
Yeah, it's $3 a month with Billy Quarterly, so it's $11 every 3 months.
You know,
This isn't a commercial break, they're just playing back footage.
oh no.
Screwed.
They fucked something up hard. The one dude on Subliners, I think Neptune or Hydra 1, like they're messing with his headset. And so they was messing with Clay's, something with Clay's stuff too. Dan? They just restarted the song. You know, this is something they're gonna do. Can you make me a sandwich?
Really?
I'm impressed. How do you get bread to stand like that?
You know, that's fair. They really fucked something up.
I feel like it's just crashing and burning further. Like there's no...
Welcome back to the Call of Duty League, friends.
Play the ad! Play the other ad! Hurry!
Oh,
They played this at the beginning.
And the best teams in the world, they've missed you too. As our gift to you, let's up the stakes and give you some of the... Oh my lord, that was nasty! New rosters, new game.
Bro, Simp threw that headset last year.
Let's get into it.
Like,
CDL
whenever they won, that headset was gone. Like, forever.
Welcome back, whether you beautiful people are
That was
here in
them winning,
Arlington,
though.
Texas,
Yeah.
or if you're watching from at home, I want to say welcome back to the Call of Duty Kickoff Classic here in Arlington, Texas, presented by none other than Zinni. And here on the desk, Belly, Slacked, Alley Cat, and Nameless. Let's talk about what's been going on so far this event, right? And actually, if we can take a look at the bracket as well, that's going to be a big help because this event has been single elimination, and so far, 2 teams went home, and Nameless, the first match of the day, man, it went by so fast.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we were expecting a lot out of LAG, and they come in here and they end up losing that one. And the big player that we were looking at, it was Hoop, man. And he did not have a good series by any means.
Why? Why Hoop? I want to know why Hoop.
You know, there's going to be a lot of pressure on these guys when we finally kick off the season for them to step it up.
Yeah, it's
The
like,
LA
Gorillas,
Gorillas, dude, we're crushing on right now, and I don't know why.
They're filled with vets. They're used to winning, like historically, right? But a big loss like that, you know they're not happy. Next event, do you think they're going to have a little chip on their shoulder? Do you think they need a little bit more time to get things in the groove?
Yeah, I think, you're just going to go back home, right? Your LAG lost one series. It is what it is. You're out of the Kickoff Classic. But I think for the main thing for them, they just need to focus on just the fundamental things, getting in the groove of each other, and just figuring out how certain people like to play certain scenarios. I think with their coaching staff and things like that, they'll be fine. Like I said, it was a single elimination, one best of 5. I'm not too worried about them.
Right, and Ali, talking about the Florida Mutineers, teams better be worried about it because those boys popped off, right?
No, absolutely, especially against such a stacked squad like LAG. And for me, it was Big Wake. It was Awakening just popping off. He was clearly the big slayer on that team. Sky's just turning on people ridiculously. And then Vivid and Dave Patty, man. Vivid being the route man, and Dave Patty just really falling into that main AR role, man.
Slasher went from LA Team to LA Gorillas.
Right, and also, let's talk about Seattle Surge versus the London Royal Ravens.
Yeah.
Seattle are looking nice, nameless.
Dude, they're looking nice. And there was a crazy stat from this map on Bocage. They outscored them, I think it was 81-18 on P1 on the first hill. That hill's in the center of the map. It's like so hard to control that. They got 81 points on that hill. That is wild. So it just shows the amount of practice that Surge put in and how in the chaos that is Bocage, they're able to control it and manipulate the spawns to a point where they can get that much time on a chaotic hill.
Yeah, the vibes are good and the whole team is smiling, man. And Seattle Surge, I'm going to be completely honest, they're looking like one of the best teams in the CDL this year. So
That's early.
It's early.
Yeah, you got to reserve that one.
They do look nice, though.
But in terms of coaches and other players, how they rated them, they put them like top 4. You know?
Yeah.
So they're in the 4th place spot on a lot of people's list.
I will say,
I'm not capping.
I think if you're a Seattle fan here, you're happy, right?
Yeah.
There hasn't been some good years in MW and in Cold War, but now here starting off Vanguard with a 3-0 dominant win, I think you're happy if you're a Seattle fan all day.
Right, and also, I'm going to be completely honest, man. Pred was showing some big scrim energy. Yeah, he didn't go positive a million like he did in scrims, but also, he still went big. The rookies to the vessel.
I like the LA shirt.
As a whole, look great, but the London Royal Ravens.
The what?
Looking
the
forward
LA
to
Thief shirt.
What is more that you would like to see from this team?
They posted
they
LA
pushed
Thief
Seattle Surge a little bit
posted
to
a
the
video
wall
of
sometimes. There was moments of excellence from this team where I don't think this is the end of their run. Obviously, it's Kickoff Classic. Everybody's getting their land legs for the season. And for London Royal Ravens, I said they would probably push Seattle Surge in the S&D, and that's what they did. London Ravens, at the very end there, started popping off. We saw Afro getting some gross kills in situations that he had no business having any sort of momentum in his favor. So I don't think this is the last we'll see of them.
Did Draza do well last year?
Like
I don't remember.
They have tons of talent top to bottom.
Well,
they got
LA
Afro,
didn't do
one of
well
the greatest submachine gun players still. I'm a big fan of him, and I expect a lot this year. I'm just excited to see kind of overtime with
so we're supposed to get a ranked mode in February.
They'll be able to kind of find a more comfortable footing with the roster, just kind of playing together. Like I said, this is the first time you've seen Afro, Nasty, Gizmo, and Trey play together. Trey's been out of the league for a little bit now, and he's in that main AR role, so he's got to find his comfortability.
Yeah, trying to figure each other out, right? And we did see some great moments out of the Royal Ravens. Like Ali touched on the search and destroy. I love that we saw Zero pulling out that sniper. There were a couple rounds where he got big kills. In the final round they ended up losing. He got 2 big snipes to start that round, but the push was just split. They had 2 players over by that B-bomb site. They weren't able to gather up quick enough to secure that victory, but those are things you'll learn from, right? So I believe in this Royal Ravens team, and this is a team that the management's going to have to commit to, right? Like these guys, they've had so many changes over the last couple of years. They're finally stacked with talent. You got Zero back, so the future is bright.
Talking about things to learn from, and I'm happy you brought up Zero because he is the OG on the team, right? And with young players like Afro, I can see a little old man, young man duo forming up there, right, Slack?
Yeah, absolutely. Trey's been a guy who's been around for a long time. He has tons of experience across multiple different titles and running different roles, so he definitely can be a big light on these new guys.
Touching off Veli, talking about that old man, young man duo. I'm looking at Skies and Awakening now. I'm sorry, Skies. I don't mean to put you in the blender like that, but you certainly did during this hard point on Bocage. Once again, Florida Mutineers, they were outslaying LIG by so much, but LIG still pushed them to the wall. They still made it a close matchup, and I think that's kind of the light light at the end of the tunnel for them. But Florida Mutineers, again, their ceiling is so high, especially with Awakening popping off the way that he did. I'm excited for this team to move up the ranks.
Yeah, I think the biggest W for the Mutineers in this series was like proving that they're good in their new roles. Like seeing Skies go off with the SMG on that map one, making the right plays while doing so, and then also you touched on Awakening. Like, since we started going back to lands, he hasn't been the Awakening that we're used to seeing. Like, he was a demon online. And people know, like, for the OG CDL fans out there, I was the biggest Awakening fan ever. I used to gas him up so much, but he did have a drop-off in performance. So to see him come out here and do that in that series, I mean, that's good for them going forward.
Right, and for those of you beautiful people that are currently watching this event, we're working through some technical issues at the moment, but once that is done, believe me, we're going to get this game started, and I can't wait for it to go down. I want to see NYSL, man. But also, I want to have some fun. Here on the desk, we talk a lot, right? But I also want to hear what you guys, the fans, have to say. Between these two teams, are you guys rocking with the Boston Breach?
Hey, we see the little Boston Breach poster right there. People getting creative with it. Okay, make some noise.
I'm loving it. Now, if you guys like Legends and OGs,
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Who's rocking with
Angus' trigger
NYSL? Make
went
some
off.
noise. I think we got a winner.
Somebody came to the door.
So,
Our neighbors are having a party, I guess.
NYSL is going to
what?
10-0.
I guess our neighbors are having a party or something, and they're going off with
prediction
their
goddess on the desk.
music.
Actually, I would love to get into predictions a little bit, Ali. So far, you are 100%. This is crazy. 100% on predictions and also the map count, which is absolutely insane. You're killing it, right?
Nah, man, with this next prediction, I know a lot of people in the crowd are going to want to fist fight me right now, man. Listen, going to this matchup, I'm looking at NYSL taking it 3-0. But listen, Boston
3-0
has such a high ceiling, okay? I definitely expect this team to move up the rings following later in this season. But I think right off the bat, man, I think there's too much that the kinks that they got to work out. And I just don't think going up against a team like NYSL, who is, again, built, like Nameless said, to be phase killers.
Yeah.
Dude, and Hydra, that sub duo who pushes a BZ and sip against the wall, I just don't think they're ready.
Ali, you're killing it on the desk so far. Nameless, I want you to be honest with me, man. All right, can we keep it real for a second?
Let's keep it a buck.
All right, so Toronto Ultra was the second best team in the CDL. You talk about the phase killers with NYSL, and also Atlanta phase are the best.
Okay.
Do you really think
What?
NYSL has what it takes to win ships this year?
I think we have a few teams that are going to be able to contend with them as the season goes on.
You got new
Optic,
toys.
Texas, and New York are the two that come to mind for me, just because of the team composition.
Did you
of
not
these
hear that?
teams.
What,
But
what?
for New York, man, I think it's going to be a little bit of a rush. I still think they're going to take this series versus the
Okay,
Boston
I heard that
Breach,
one.
But they're going to be out there pushing P. So
Can you shut the fuck up?
Slack, man.
Oh my
Honest to
God.
be about this matchup. Do you think
I'm
Boston is going to have a rough
What the-
time hanging out the likes of this team?
So I want to have a different perspective here on
My
this
what?
desk, but I just don't know if I
Boise.network.
fully believe in
Oh.
Boston right now. I
What?
want to believe in it. I want to see these new
Are
guys
these
pop
all
off
free?
and do their thing, but I'm just not sure
Where
Yeah.
did you
they're
buy
going
it?
to be able to get it done in this one
That's all
best
free.
of 5. I'm going to go New York here.
I
think,
got the
with
Who's
likes
My
of
Plus so I
Kermit
can have more
Clay
buttons.
And, obviously
That's
the new
it.
SMG
Right.
coming in under their wing. I think they got it.
I'm going to be
But all the
honest. I
sounds
could
are
be
free. I
easy
have
on
them
this
all.
right now
Yeah.
because I'm the new guy on the desk, so,
Okay.
I can make hot
They
takes
turned
for
up their
predictions.
music
Let's
now.
hear it.
My
Everybody say,
feet are
okay, Belly,
vibrating.
you're stupid, whatever. I was watching Boston and
Except my
Scrims.
feet are
They're
vibrating.
nasty. I love TJ Haley. I love Nero. I love everything about this team. And you hear it. The crowd wants it. They want it as much as me. I'm going for
Hey,
the
some
upset.
Boston fans
We're
are
going
crazy,
the
man.
Full distance, hands down, baby. But Slacks,
You know what I
if
mean?
Boston were to win,
Yeah.
who would
Boston,
have to step it
for-
up the
like
most
I'm talking
on
about
this
for
team?
any
I want to
sport.
see Capsule
Like,
fly.
some
I
Boston
think he
fans
is
can be
such
crazy.
a key part of this
Okay.
team. He's the new guy on the block, and if he can do it, man, I'm backing it.
All right, Ali.
This
how about you
kid,
for NYSL?
rookie too,
Who's gonna be the
first year
biggest
rookie.
standout on this team? You got the young guns, you got the OGs.
Capsule.
Who's gonna be the X factor?
They just pulled
I
him out
think
of
it's going to end
challenges
up being
apparently.
Neptune. I definitely expect Crim and Clay to come out hot, and I think Hydra will as well. I think Neptune really needs to step it up and be there with his duo.
All right, now, Nameless, what is the point of urgency for this team to just kick things off heavy and just try
I don't
their
know who
best to
she
be at
is.
the top?
For New York?
But her
Yeah,
opinions
man.
I mean, for New York, it's the sub
are
duo,
better than
man.
the black
They're
guys.
making the right plays while going out there feeling confident.
Because
They-
she
these guys are
broadcasts
going to be a
Warzone,
force to
too.
be reckoned with. And then also,
She
it's gotta
ca-
be
she
Crim
came
6.
from Warzone.
If Crim can get back
Apparently
to
she was
top
the one
form, it's gonna be huge
broadcasting
for this
stuff
team. Being that
Warzone
flex player in this
win.
game, it's so important. It's more pronounced in
No,
Vanguard.
like
Look at
his
the team once
$100,000
again.
win,
Get back to top
like
form.
that
Come
big
on,
tournament.
Baby, matter of fact, you know what?
Oh.
We're having a good time on the desk. The crowd is getting involved.
Like
I
beating
think we
out
get the
pro
casters
Warzone
involved as well.
players.
Lando,
It might just be
Steady,
his look, but
I'm
he
gonna
looks
put
really
you
old,
guys
too.
in the hot seat as well. Lando, Starting with you, baby.
He looks like Rain Day Gaming, but I like Rain Day a lot more.
You guys have made some excellent claims
like,
so far, but
he
I'm
does
gonna rock with New York. I am. I'm gonna go with the New York sub lanes. All right, you know, Bing Bong, that's for sure. I'm getting some fuck your life. It was just for New York, by the way. I don't know how it just turned in a matter of like 15 seconds.
Did he really?
I'm gonna go with 3-1. I get Boston breach a map. You know what? No, I'm gonna go game 5. Screw it. Game 5.
Okay, I respect it.
Yeah.
Belly, you don't even need to ask me the question because you know exactly where I'm going. New York 100%. I feel like we've been dominating that rivalry for a really long time. It's just another stepping stone for NYSL. Let's come out here and get the job done.
I figured that would be good for armed for
this is gonna be great.
Can you shut the fuck up?
So wait.
Yeah.
Yo, Jay, you tell me right now, there's just no upset potential in this matchup right here.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think like you got veterans on the opposite side for NYSL. These
still
guys
watching
have done
replays?
it multiple different times.
They
And
still
on the
ain't got it
fact that
fixed. They're
Boston
going
have
back
two
and forth
rookies,
and back
their
and
first
forth.
main stage match,
You
they're
see,
going
look
probably
at
against
the
two
people on the
players
New
that
York
they've
side.
trusted their
1,
entire
2, 3,
career.
4
There's
people
gonna be some
trying to work
jitters
on
there.
whatever's
They can
footsteps.
pull that out. It's going to be a little scary, but I still got New York.
In the back.
Yeah, I'm
Look him in the
gonna
back.
go at home. If
The
you
yellow.
think Lando's smart, yeah, we're all right about that. But the guy's an absolute nerd. In the green room,
Huh.
he
I'm watching
binders
gameplay
with,
right
like,
now.
notes and
Oh, he's
stats
the
on-
man.
What?
On everything, Lando.
Hit
I
live.
Rewinded it.
I got the binders here. You know, I got the binders.
Yeah.
It's all
I don't know
good.
when I rewinded it.
Nerd,
Hit
right?
live.
Right? Yo, Lando, let me ask you this, okay? You're
There's
running with
4. There were
NYSL,
4 people
but
standing up
in Boston's
trying to
case,
fix
if
whatever's
they
going on to
were
this
the
PCs
same
back there.
culture, even happen to win it, who do you
They're
think
all
would step up,
crumbling.
or
What do
why
we
do you
do?
think this team would even be in that position?
If we're talking about Boston specifically,
Yeah.
I agree. I think it has to be on Cap. To me, I think
Okay.
if you're going to be talking about a player in specific, I'm looking at Capsule. I think to be a little bit different, because I know that's obviously what Ali brought up, I am looking at TJ as well. I think we can all agree that TJ is a player that when he is flying, when he is at the top of his game, this is going to be a complete team. So if the rookies step up the way that we expect them to, or that we hope that they can, I feel like TJ is the guy that gets them over the edge. And hey, I love me some Fat Bob. That's for sure.
For me, nah, I'm not going Cap. My main focus has to be on Nero. Like, I've been watching this guy ever since he was in Challengers. He's a phenomenal player from top to bottom. S&D, hardpoint, doesn't matter. And I've watched him throughout scrims for the last couple of weeks. He is their top slayer. Like, when he goes to a Gavutu control, when they get to that map 3, he's going to be that guy pulling out the third AR, just making it look easy. The guy has the potential to be an all-star, and I can't wait to see him play.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. Desk, thank you guys so much for setting us up and allowing for us to give some of our expert analysis, even though you guys absolutely hold it down. But here we go, folks. It is time, Arlington.
Oh, finally.
Versus Boston, and the rivalry begins in the cage.
And here we go. That's going to be 3 early kills going in favor of Boston. So they're going to start off with the initial time on this hard
Oh
point.
my God.
They're spawning all of NYSL back Grandma, so this is going to be a good chunk of time going in favor of Boston. You see what Nero's doing, just being super aggressive. He knows the spawns. They're still picking up those kills in the middle of the map, but Neptune's going to be able to find 3 in the feed. Fortunately, he does get dropped, but the spawns do flip for New York.
And you can just see the instant impact that a player like Neptune has in this series. I mean, you talked about it, Jay. The skill that he had on the Mutineers, which was incredible, a little inconsistent, but playing with guys who maybe didn't fit him the best, who couldn't promote him the way that we can expect to with Clay and Krim. His potential on this map and with this group, and now alongside an incredible SMG player like Hydra, it is terrifying, but a very low-scoring affair over at P1. Meanwhile, it's time for Field, and it's Boston who are there early.
And you look at New York, they're still having the spawns coming in from back stables. That's still going to be 2 dead in the feed. Memphis hitting shots like that. Him and TJ all over the kill feed, holding this hill from the front side. They find all 4. They're able to flip the spawns, and this has been a great start for this young Boston roster.
It absolutely has.
Damn!
Down off of that 4 spree. And
Message just hit like a 5-piece, 4 or 5. He held point for a second.
After Toronto Ultra last season, he's the face of this team. He's the face of this franchise, this new brand. And like we said, his stream's been kicking off, but his skill in this team, rather for this team, is incredible. Also is going to be one of the vocal leaders for this roster as well. A great start for Zen, but the final few seconds going down over at Field, a neck-and-neck game. But when it comes down to our next hard point, it's going to be New York with spawns to start. But TJ trying to get up and aggressive inside a kitchen, but he gets made quick work of.
And the way you want to set up around this hill, obviously you want to have that back control, but the main focal point has to be this kitchen area. Neptune, so far, he's holding it down to the T. One player in Method is trying to work his way towards the lower tanks area, and that's actually going to allow Boston to start spawning in the back. That's going to completely throw New York off. That's going to be a clean 4 dead, Boston to break in.
Impressive stuff there, right? from the Boston Breach Methods, the farthest pushed up player, Hydra.
I'm back, sorry.
Making quick work of him, but 35 very valuable points still
Oh my
left
God,
inside
Boston.
bottom house or grandma's, depending on how you like to call it. But this is exactly where Neptune loves to reign.
These teams are going to fight fucking tooth and nail.
And he's going to have quite
They're...
a few more as this Bocage game is still early in it. Skinny turn on Methods, not going to be the case, but Krim is going to be there for the return. 15 left, and right now it's Breach. Mere seconds going back and forth. And right now, Capsule, a little bit of a slower start at 4-9.
Right now, they do have the lead. They did lose the spawns for that Barn Hill, so that's going to allow New York to set up nice and early for that one. Potentially take the lead here. As you still see two New York players pushed up in towards Grandma's. Krim and Clay going absolutely huge, picking up every single kill in the feed. Last player up is going to be Capsule. But they have so much pressure out towards Flat. Cap able to find one. Placer still holding down his tank area. So far, they have taken the lead. This has been a great hold from New York.
We'll see how Barn looks at times. Teams will kind of rank this as one of the money hills of this map, even if you want to even label a map, or rather a rotation on Bocage as a money hill. But a good start for the moment for New York. A time to take a breather, and right back into the action as Capsule from the top of the stairs. He gets dropped. Hydra and Krim, some great team shots for the start.
Those are
18 seconds left. We'll see how they can manage the middle side of the map.
Damn, Method.
Turning on Krim, and that'll be 4 down for Boston. The crowd getting loud for this team, but let's go ahead and step aside and go to a listen with NYSL.
Let's one trench. New York. Okay. Let's trench. They might spawn here.
One shot tower. One shot back tower. Laying down back tower. Laying down back tower. Right there. Laying down.
Nice.
There's
I'm pushing out long. I'm pushing out long.
On you. Nice. Zero dead. Get to. I got time. I'll get time.
I'll play tower. Watch the back. Watch the back.
I'll get time.
On the back. Yeah. One's going long on me.
I'm stunning over you, Porter.
Back window. Yeah, watch the tower.
I got naded.
I killed one.
One shot. I naded another one, Porter. I naded another one.
Okay.
What dead?
Yeah, the last guy right. Dead. Nice. Pushing out the
Not
tower.
yet. Turn, Paco, turn.
Yeah, we flip now. I'm watching Z. I'm watching Z.
I'm watching mid.
Z on me. Come sit down. I'm watching mid and gate.
In one shot trench. Deep trench.
Bottom.
I got one. Trench heading one shot. He's one shot there.
He's going top. I got him.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I got him. Last guy.
Wait, nice.
Good time. Get ready to bomb. Watch left too. Yeah. Get ready to bomb.
Dead middle.
I'm getting nated from trench. One's deep trench, I'm pretty sure.
Bottom barn, one bullet.
Go.
Top barn, one shot. Zero. Top grandma. Gate.
Gate. Bench. Oh shit. Got him.
Porter tries to stay alive.
Where was that grandma? Come with me. Help me, clears. Yo, one's pushing me out. Tank. Dead.
Gate spot, maybe mid hunt, Porter.
Mid hunt. Yes, he's weak. In my bench.
One shot mid hunt. One shot. Bench. One shot.
No, bench. Yeah. Let's go. Bottom gate. Watch out gate. Bottom gate. I'm coming right with you, Porter. He's gonna be somewhere. Yeah. He's top right.
And there you have it. First set of rotations are done and dusted. And so far, it has been all NYSL. Some good moments from Breach. But I got to say, Jay, one player that I'm really impressed with, it's got to be Krim. I mean, he's looking great on the SMG.
Yeah, I know. That's completely throwing me off, man. But their comms right there and that listening was beautiful. Everyone was stepping up in that column. They knew exactly what they needed to do. Hey, I'm spawning out. There's still potentially one more player back there. And eventually, they got the job done and had a phenomenal hold on P5 to grow the lead that they have now. Now off the rotation, only 10 seconds left on this P1. They find 3. They are able to secure the spawns. And once again, New York should be in a position to grow this lead even more.
Yeah, they got preferred spawns, as you mentioned. They've also got quite a few players lingering to the middle side of the map. One of those being Clayster, trying to lock down a few of these pushes that are trying to, of course, flip those spawns. TJ, meanwhile, inside of dirt, he gets dealt with too. Great spot right now for the subliners as Breach struggling really just to get past Grandma as that middle side of the map is totally cleared out. And now, here comes an opportunity for the fight. NYSL, they hop off and maybe allow for Clay to try and grab a pick. Sits on 5 in a row. Streaks very well could be in his future. Takes down one. That's going to be the guy. And those will be double streaks. Great plays coming in from Clay as a look to try and extend it. 23 seconds left, but it has been all New York so far at field. Boston pretty much walking away with their tail between their legs because they have to rotate for the next one. Clay continuing to dominate on a map that's not necessarily fit for the weapon of choice, but he is using that auto to the best of its ability and maybe even contesting a few players off the side. Does get shut down from Nero and a sweat off the brow situation for Boston as now they set up in house.
I don't think there is maps that aren't fit for the
That's
8 kill
fair.
spree just made it look easy. Now he has those kill streaks to work with as you get towards the later hard points, but that's going to be a clean 4 dead. New York just breaking with ease. You see the positioning out of Crim. He's slowly working up because he knows this has to be the way that they rotate into this hard point. He's eventually going to drop. New York are still holding control, but on the opposite side, you have Clayster set up, still putting them in that spawn trap, and New York have been uncontested so far in this P3 hard point. This lead is getting absurd.
Yeah, this is getting quite scary on this one as Hydra walking through bullets there versus Methods. But an interesting setup and kind of applies to the roster that you have as Clay and Crim continue to go on sprees. Like I said, they had 2 players on either side of the spawn with the SMGs inside of the house. A picture-perfect start for the subliners, at least in these last few hills. Methods even pulling out an SMG just to try to get some work, trying to change the script a little bit. Takes down 2, but it is NYSL who reached the double century mark.
And let me tell you, Crim has a strafing run to work with. Clayster is fully streaked out. 200 to 100. This is a beat down right now. We usually don't see this on a map like Bocage. It doesn't happen, but New York, they have been in the driver's seat this entire time, but Boston, they were able to flip these spawns. They can get right back into this game with a great hold on this P4 hardpoint.
Yeah, a massive hill already for the Boston Breach, in which could very well decide the game in terms of if NYSL can continue to roll, or if Boston, this could be their chance to bring it on back. Neptune overall winning the trades, and look at those engagements already. 31 and 21 out of Neptune. His Methods, again, trying to do all the dirty work he can to the middle side of the map. NYSL continually putting themselves in the favorable positions, making a dent, but that really seems to be just about it. Final 10 here at Barn. New York now within 20 seconds of closing out this Bocage. Great starts pretty much from everybody, and here comes the streak. Clay calling out the glide bomb, giving at least information over to his teammates. And they're continuing to win the fights.
238 and climbing. Only need 12 points away from closing out this game. New York have played this flawlessly. Look at Crimsick sitting at 32 and 28, really stepping up in the SMG role. And I know he has to be feeling really confident with that stat line because usually Crim is an AR guy. But the fact that he's going to be that flex player, he is stepping up tremendously right now alongside Neptune.
What can Boston do? I can literally hear Clay from the stage myself, as that's going to be 2, make it 3, 4 down in the feed as New York continue to roll. Crim is beaming.
Oh my God.
With an SMG from range, for God's sake.
He's still alive.
Clay and Crim are just...
He's still alive, 36 and 28, leading the lobby. We had questions about if he could even run the roll, let alone lead the lobby in kills. They can't win it off of this hill, but you gotta think they're in the best of situations. A 5 spree right now for the GOAT, make it 6 in a row, final 2 points, and that will be it. A statement on Bocage, as it's the veterans leading the way.
Yo, Clay and Crim are looking
Hydra and Neptune really
spicy
show,
this year. Holy shit.
Up when he needed to the most, man. That's what makes him the most winning
They
top
both
player
streaked
of
out.
all time. He had great plays, picking up kill streaks left and right. But I think the turning
Like,
point of
what
the
the
game had to be that P4 hard point. The P2 hard point. When Clayster was able to go on that 8 spree and pick up those kill streaks, in the back of the mind for all the Boston players is that, that P5 hard
especially
point
for
is
a
gonna
rookie.
be basically impossible to try to get a hold on.
Yeah.
That's why they allowed
Like-
Crimsix to push up to that back tank, basically get a 4-piece as they were running out of their spawn, and New York just made that look so easy on a map that shouldn't be that easy.
Yeah, not at all. Like I said, it throws you off. It totally throws me off too. Like, you know, we were expected to see Neptune and Hydra, which they had solid games as well, but it is the veterans. It is Crim showing off that SMG shot. He's been putting in some work with the MP40, and clearly it is paying off. New York, a statement hardpoint victory there on Bocage. We'll take a look through a majority of these highlights, but I mean, Jay, like you said, there was a number of different moments, some hills in particular, but those streaks were huge.
Bro, Clay locked him at one point. Crim locked him at one point.
The game down, much like how we saw Seattle
Like-
Surge do in their prior match on this very hard point. Slow the game down, allow for the aggression of this team, and really allow for rather the Boston Breach to run into that aggression of the subliners. Really just an excellent game plan all the way around.
Yeah, what New York were able to do was pick up every single kill at the same exact time.
Right.
They were getting a clean 4 dead, which basically leaves the hill uncontested for about 10 to 15 seconds. but they were just holding it down, picking up those streaks, holding on their lanes, and forcing them to spawn all the way out. Like on their P2, it was absolutely stunning. Even though Metis, he was trying to contest it from the front side. Once Glacier takes him down, he pushes up to the tank. They're going to be spawning all the way out towards back tower. And they just made it super easy for NYSL to just get uncontested time and eventually walk away with map 1.
Yeah, and you see the moment that we're discussing, right? The plays coming in from Clay, Crim6 as well. Just excellent end to what is a chaotic map on Bocage. Just excellent shot.